Hello everybody, welcome back to both the Blind Press YouTube and Twitch channels. I know I said that I was done dual streaming, but this is so like fucked up and crazy that I'm covering this on both channels because like just the Sneako versus Charlie shit is just, it's crazy. And we're gonna watch the whole thing. We're gonna watch the whole debate because we're not really, like, I don't see many people covering the whole thing. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna cover the entire debate. It's a good long 2.5 hour video, so be sure to, get comfortable, have a drink handy. I should have grabbed water before I started this, but I didn't because I'm dumb. And yeah, it's gonna, oops, I didn't want to do that. There we go. There we go. Hey, I'm on Twitch because money. Thank you, Spittlebuggies. You are awesome. Thank you. Yes. I need money. What's that meme? That's that meme? Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna this is gonna be interesting. We have, like I said, the entire debate here. And it's 2 hours and 13 minutes long. So it's gonna be a good long haul of a stream. And but before we get into that, it is my 35th birthday today. So here I am streaming for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy what I've got planned. I'm gonna do this stream, then I'm gonna end and hang out with the family, and then I have a King of the Hill that I'm participating in tonight. That is the first person to 12 wins the money. So that is something that we're doing. It'll be fun. So, and I am going to be streaming that. So, without further ado, I am going to switch screens to our live scene, and we are going to start watching this wild ass debate. And I am gonna, full disclosure, I have not seen any of this debate. I've seen like a 10-second clip, and so I am coming into this with pretty fresh eyes.
Can I leave my phone in here?
I have no idea.
Okay. What's going on? Why is you buffering?
I'm buffering?
No. Okay, come on, you gotta pause.
Can you grab me a glass of water, please? So here we go. We are going to start our lovely video.
Now, are we talking like marriage of the right age, over 18?
Over your idea of right age, sure, yes. What do you think's better?
Okay.
Whoa!
In that society, if people are settling down.
Over your idea of the right age. Oh, Sneako, we've just started, Sneako.
Getting married, having long-term relationships, meaningful relationships.
We've literally just started, and Sneako's like, your idea of the right age. What's your idea of the right age, Sneako?
You're supposed to be outside with you. I will try and get them out of the house. I'm gonna go wash the engine.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so what's going on? We've been, everything's good, sounds good. How you been?
I've been all right, man. How are things going on your end?
Things are going good. Every time I talk to you, I'm in some random country. Last time I was in Japan. I was standing outside of a club, actually, in Japan, and then I think you texted me, and I left the club, and I was just standing on the street underneath, like, some cherry blossom flowers at like 3 a.m. And now I'm in Turkey.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty serene landscape,
That
actually. It was
sounds
very cinematic.
weird.
It was the nice flowers, and I think people had this idea that I was an angry person, or maybe that's how you painted me. And then
That's how you painted me. Dude, I'm sorry, who was pointing guns at the screen calling to see, do you want to see my clips? You want to see my clips? Who was that again?
Seeing me like walk around like with the nice flowers, like, oh, okay, this guy's he's not that red pill rage.
Hey man, I don't try and paint you as aggressive or anything, but
you do it yourself,
clips,
dude.
They you go ballistic.
Because man,
That's most people's impression.
I'm all clips, not mags, but things do get clipped out of context, you know.
All clips, not mags, but things get clipped out of context. Yeah, okay.
Because people say like this is the biggest YouTube beef is us, and I haven't been on YouTube for the whole beef.
Yeah, that's true.
For the whole
but
time.
like even outside of YouTube, you still have a massive platform. So like it's more internet beef, I suppose, that people need.
The
to
top
say.
is making me
I know,
looking
just some of that
tasty.
stuff
Oh,
bothers me.
thank you.
Jinxie's like, this is the biggest YouTube beef. Is like I haven't been on YouTube for the whole time. It is frustrating not being on platforms since then I've lost.
Sneako doesn't know what words mean already.
I'm like, I have to explain. Like, oh, the Zionists banned me. They called me dangerous. This
The
stuff.
Zionists
I'm not
banned
on these
me.
platforms. And then I have to imagine
yes,
explaining to a Turkish guy what Rumble is.
Well, I mean,
This
just
is
explain
good.
it's a streaming platform. I feel like that most people know what that is.
They're like, what's your YouTube? And they're like searching it up for kids, and I have to they have to download the app, and then they try to watch my video, and they got to sign in. But it's I do like the challenge. But yeah, so let's talk about what we came to talk about.
Yeah, man.
Well,
with all of what's going on here, why are you so insistent on like the age of consent being like unreasonable? Or at least that's the impression I and most people gather from the way you speak about it.
That's a valid question, and I want to first ask like, what's your issue with my opinion on the age of consent, age of marriage?
Because I feel like age of consent should just be an accepted number, and I think the accepted one is 18. Like, regardless of where you talk about in the world, I feel like once you start talking about someone under 18, you're basically just talking like a predator. Like,
Yes.
I feel like 18 is a pretty well-established number for most sensible people. At 18, you're going to college, you're living your own life now, you're outside of your family nest.
Okay, but what about the 16-year-olds that are emancipated? What about the fact that you can get a driver's license at 16 and have medical autonomy at 16? What about all of those things? Like, I think between 16 and 18 is kind of a weird area because you're not... Like, there are certain privileges that you are afforded as a 16 to 18-year-old. You're not fully afforded everything. And you're even not fully afforded everything at 18, right? You can join the fucking military before you can drink and smoke in the States and in Canada because it's 19 versus 18. But it's like, why are we, like, I would say if you're saying under 16 that you're a predator, because like I said, between 16 and 18 there's still that, like, you are closer to an adult than you are to a child, if that makes any sense, between 16 and 18.
Anything under that, you're still a kid.
Okay. It's not 18 in most of the United States where we both live, right?
Yeah, but that refers to like Romeo and Juliet laws where if you're like 19 and with a 16-year-old, it's not technically illegal, but you're not a 19-year-old, right? So why would you be arguing for like a 16, you know?
First off, I'm not arguing to lower the age of consent. I don't believe in the age of consent. We can get there. I want to establish
You
some
don't
terms first.
believe in an age of consent? What? No, there needs to be an age of consent, Sneako. You can't just not have an age of consent. Ages of consent protect people from more than just sexual crimes. They protect them from financial crimes. They protect them from, like, a whole bunch of different things. Including things that they themselves may do because they're stupid children.
First.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's not even just with Romeo and Juliet laws. There's a lot of states where it's 16 regardless of Romeo and Juliet. And then you go to Europe, most countries are 16. Japan,
Yeah.
I think they just changed it. It was like 13 or 14 and now it's 16. Brazil, it's 14. I saw that from a Nelk Boys video. They were joking around about how they should, like, when in Rome, they're in Brazil, so they might as well sleep with a 14-year-old. Right? Or across the world, 18. I want to see, like, why do you think 18 is the age of consent?
Because that right now is the one that makes the most sense.
But why, though? Why does it make the most sense? Why? What is the arbitrary difference between 16 and 18?
I guess to
And
piggyback
why am I fucking on Sneako's side here?
off what you're saying, so if you're traveling right now, if you go to Europe, are you going to be comfortable, like, hooking up with a 16-year-old? Like, just because it's legal there, would that make you feel comfortable?
No, I don't hook up anymore. I'm not
saying that you do, but I'm saying if you were, you know, single and looking for someone, would you feel comfortable with it being a 16-year-old if it's in Europe versus US?
I wouldn't do that. Like, I would not have sex before. I think sex, like, out of wedlock altogether is something that we should not
bullshit,
encourage anymore.
Sneako. You've had sex out of wedlock. Shut up. Just shut up, you hypocrite. I think sex out of wedlock is bad. Now. This moment in time, I think it's bad. Whatever, dude. And you can also, like, that's the thing. You can think something should be without yourself engaging in it. Like, I think women should have access to abortion up to a certain point. That doesn't mean I'm going to go and get one if I were to be pregnant again, somehow. Which would be, first of all, that would mean, holy shit, Pincalo healed himself. He's Wolverine. But that's besides the point.
And having the age of consent.
You don't have to like, partake in a law. Raise everything to 25. Yeah. We're about there at this point.
That having that idea encourages people to have premarital sex, right? Just that term, age of consent, means you're consenting to something that we shouldn't be doing. So no, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that.
Okay, so then instead of let's take it away from, like, premarital sex, would you feel comfortable marrying a 16-year-old? Like,
you're testing your adult
with romantic intent if you're in
until
Europe,
21.
Maybe
you're testing your adultness until 21.
I probably wouldn't personally, because I don't think that I'd be on the
You're
same
just
playing field. I like.
You're just happy to be awake for the live today.
I like to be with
yes.
women that are around my same age, because then
being awake is hard.
I like to relate to them. You know, I think there'd be too much of a gap. But other people, like, if they're able to get along, then I don't see why that's so much of a problem.
But why don't you see that as a problem? So for you, you're recognizing, like, this person's much younger than me. It is a kid. Like, you are talking to.
Okay, so let's define these terms. Let's
in high school.
Before we even get into, let's define these terms before we even get into this conversation. What is a child?
I would use the age of consent. Under 18 would be a kid in my eyes.
So a 17-year-old who's 364 days. That's a kid?
Yep. I'm gonna use very hard set terms. If it is under 18, even if it's 17 364, that's still a kid.
That's a kid. Okay.
I think it's important to have these hard lines in the sand where it doesn't have this kind of wiggle room.
Except, what if your child, like, what if the kid, quote, is not, like, what if, because there are so many ranges of maturity from person to person. Like, you could have a 17-year-old that's 364 days into 17, and they could be, like, as mature as a 25-year-old. And then you could have a 25-year-old that is got the maturity of a fucking 15-year-old. So, what, like, this is why I think there's this gray area between 16 and 18.
Okay, why does that define kid?
As I said earlier, at 18, at that point, you're going out of high school, you're going to college, you're living on your own.
But there are some kids who aren't out of high school at 18.
For the most part.
Are they still kids?
Of course. But at that age, you are starting to become independent. You are
like,
no longer.
What about the people who take an extra year? Or does that mean that they're children still because they're in high school but they're 18? Like, fuck you, Charlie. You're making me take Sneako's fucking position here. Why am I on the side of Sneako?
Just in your parents' household, a kid. You
Right,
are
but
now going off into the world on your own.
You do admit that that varies for most people, right? A lot of people don't move out of their parents' homes until they're 25, 26, 27. A lot of people don't.
There's nothing wrong with that.
A lot of people graduate high
whole.
school 16. A lot of people graduate high school 20. It's a huge variable. So to set that in stone is that this is when you're a kid and this is you're an adult. That doesn't apply to most people. So why would
Fucking goddamn it! I'm agreeing with Sneako. This is terrifying for me. Why? What the hell?
you define a kid and an adult if it doesn't apply to most people?
Because it needs to be defined. Otherwise, you can get into this really gray area where you, like a lot of the things you say, can be misconstrued as you wanting to have sex.
I can't believe that right now I'm agreeing with fucking Sneako.
Yeah.
Like I
think we stumbled into another fucking Twilight Zone.
What the fuck? How am I agreeing
We
with?
woke up on your birthday. We have gone through the portal. We are all fucking.
What? Yeah, like I'm agreeing with Sneako and he's making sense. What the fuck?
Well, he's making sense if you have the gray areas. He doesn't make sense if you have the hard lines. And the problem is a lot of people have that hard line, and rather than looking at it as the gray area means a gray area, it doesn't mean a 35-year-old should hook up with a 16-year-old.
No.
It means if a 19-year-old was been dating with the 16-year-old and he was 17 and such, because a freshman in how high school works,
Yeah.
understandable. But if a college professor and a 17-year-old college student, no.
Yeah.
That should not happen.
Yeah.
That there, right there is three prime examples of how the gray area can work and not work at the same time. We're gonna get killed over this.
An 18-year-old in high school is not a kid. You're right, Black Romeo. I can attest to being treated like a kid as an 18-year-old in high school. I remember getting into an argument with the principal because I had to go home to get the cable, to be there for the cable to be installed. And they're like, you can't just leave school whenever you want. And I'm like, well, actually I can. And it's not that I'm just leaving school because fuck school. The cable guy's coming. You know, an adult thing that you would have to do. Like, oh, Jesus. The hell happened to the volume? How did that happen?
Conversations. I'm always willing to talk to people. The kids though is Wilden. I mean, young people transition. Like, it is a thing that happens. It's not like that. It's a long process. At least my understanding of it is. It's not like you say, hey, I'm ready to transition, and you go in and immediately get surgery.
What the fuck?
Like, it's a long process that takes tons and tons of decision making. He asked to just talk so he could explain his perspective.
What the fuck happened?
Beep, 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 beep. You put the wrong... Okay, now you're on the right one. See, you see, because they're both kind of titled the same, you went to the next video, and that's why.
Okay.
Okay? You're good.
I'm not...
What?
I'm not on the...
You're good.
No, I'm not.
You're on the right one now. Now you're on the right one.
Sneako embarrasses himself with...
No, sorry, wrong one. No, I'm on the wrong one.
I know.
Here, let me to help you.
He asked to just
I
talk
backed-
so he could
This
explain
one.
his perspective on the age of consent. I'm not a debater. I don't
Where-
do that.
where-
I have
who-
conversations.
Oh, okay, can you hear it now?
Because
Yeah, they're
I
both
don't
going.
think any clips that I played in the video.
The kid goes Wilden.
I'm fixing it. We're working on it, folks. Don't get upset. We're here. We're having technical difficulties. Bing bong, bing bong.
What
bing, bong.
else is new? We always have technical difficulties.
Well, welcome to the
Like
world of
the age
disabled stream.
maturity, the age of development, and then you use 16 and 17 in that clip.
So
Like,
the-
for the age
so
of marriage.
the
$500
definition
that you'll
of
murder
an
me.
adult is 18 years old.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fine
$1,000
established
and I won't murder him.
punishment right there. Anything under 18 would classify as a kid. I think that's important.
Okay, but you're getting that from what? From personal experience, from the government, from the law? Because that's legally in America, that's when you become an adult, correct?
Yeah, legally.
So
is.
you're following the government's definition of an adult.
I think there needs to be a definition, and that one's been around for a long time, and I think that's the one most people accept as the closest to, like, yeah, this is when you become an adult.
It actually hasn't, right? 200 years ago in the 1800s in America, the age of marriage...
Yeah, we can't live like that.
No, that's the thing. Now I'm agreeing with Charlie. You can't live like it's back in the past.
So much more advanced than that. Why would we play by those rules? Because at that point, are you going to start arguing that we should be able to start wedding 12-year-olds? Like, is 12 too young?
That's not the point. I'm saying, you're saying that
That
the
is
U.S.
exactly the
defined
point,
adult
though.
as 18. Well, I'm saying 200 years ago, the age of marriage in America was 10, and the UK was 7.
It
right? So if
was
the government
not.
decides to-
What the fuck are you talking about? The age of marriage in America was 10, and in the UK it was 7. 200 years? No. No, I'm sorry. Because most girls aren't even childbearing capable at 10, let alone fucking 7. Shut up, Sneako. You have no fucking... You just pulled that out of your ass.
to change it. You're saying it's 18. If the government, maybe if Kamala Harris gets elected,
Like, I would say the age of marriage at 200 years ago was probably like 15 or 13. But 10 or 7? What the fuck, Sneako?
new legal age of an adult is 25, and there could be reasons to say that.
History books will show that in America, they were some as young as, rather than, see, he's going with, they all did it. No. In history books, in some cases, they were as young as, which is fucking shit. However, if you take into account, once again, life expectancy of the human race was very short. So once again, procreation, all of that.
Right? That's the thing.
I hate this shit!
That's the thing, though.
Ugh.
Like, fucking, but 10. No, I'm sorry.
But I'm just saying, that's where that info comes from. The words as young as in rare cases.
Yeah, like in the case of Samuel de Champlain.
Exactly!
40 and 12. Not
There,
normal.
Right
Not
there.
normal.
Okay? This is the example I am trying to show. Is how the French are fuckhead.
Like, but back in the day, it would be
12.
be my 13-year-old son and your 12-year-old daughter need to get married, and look, we just combined land and shit.
And then there's a whole bunch of the creepy weird shit. So
It was not fucking 10 and 7.
But okay, now let's go to my high school. I graduated in the early 2000s, right at the beginning of the millennium. Okay, the girl I went to winter formal and prom, Rosario. She was 16. She was married to a guy in jail. He was 25 and had 3 kids. That's one. This was the standard, though.
Yeah.
Okay? Quinceañeras are basically courting rituals for older men to oogle 15-year-old girls. It's creepy as shit. However, it's culture. This is the problem. When you have cultures around the world, you're going to have fucked up cultures around the world.
Yeah.
Hell, in Canada, it's 16 still. It used to be younger. Ugh, even worse. This is why the whole Andy thing, when Andy got into all that shit back in the day with the Instagram stuff.
Yeah.
This is why I'm like, I'm trying to sit here and go, how do I explain why this is not as bad, still bad, but not as bad if you look at it from the outside of America's scope.
And then you get the teenage girls that catfish.
There you go! There them bitches.
The fucking teenage girls who steal their older friends' IDs.
I'm trying to remember how I have my tattoo rule.
Mm-hmm.
I found out more and more that more and more young girls are getting tattoos. So that's now going out to lunch.
Oh, that should have never been a rule, honey.
No, that's always been a rule.
Yeah.
That's always been a rule because it's always been a rule that has saved my ass more than anything.
Yeah, that should have never been a rule because you've always been able to get a tattoo with your parents' consent.
That's the nuance, difference. Also, so now it's like, okay, tattoos don't work no more.
Nope.
So now it's, okay, do you have wrinkles? You have wrinkles. You're good now. So...
That's okay. My teenage ex-girlfriend had wrinkles.
Can you, like, not...
Well, she was fat.
No,
She had wrinkles.
Those are roles. I'm talking about, oh, you have crow's feet. You are over 25. We're good. Problem solved. Continue with the weird shit. Goodbye.
Graduated college, they don't leave the house until this age. Their brains don't develop until they're 25. Your frontal cortex is not fully developed until you're 25 years old. A lot of people aren't making serious money. They're not able to live independently. A lot of things that you can use to classify an adult don't happen.
18 and 14 is too large of an age gap for me to consider to be okay. Yeah. You should only be allowed a tattoo when you're 30 and sober. Well, it's a good thing to know. Oh, I cannot. I will be taking a couple days off streaming in a couple weeks.
For the new age American until 25 years old. So if Kamala Harris raised it to 25, would you then say that that's the new age? Would you agree with that?
I think that'd be totally understandable. Like, I
Right.
think
So
that's
does
fine.
that? So then does that
If
make?
you,
So then does that make anybody who sleeps with an under 25-year-old? Does that now make them a pedophile?
No, I don't think necessarily that makes them a retroactive pedophile.
So what-
by
so
any
then what's a
means,
pedophile?
But it's an accepted definition of 18 for a long time. Is
Not for
the
that
agreed
long.
upon-
Not for that long, and not through most
Not
states.
for
and
that
through most
long.
countries.
Yes, 200 years in humans' eyes is just a blink. It's just a blink of an eye there,
Across the
Sneako.
world.
Do you see why this is like a weird take to have though? Like I don't think you're coming at this from a place of you wanting to fuck a 15-year-old.
And yet
are you?
everyone
Like,
ignores the
To
Latin
go back to that question,
Americans.
is 12 too young? Do you think 12 is too young?
I think 12 is too young for me. Yes.
Well, for you.
For
do you
you.
think 12 is too young in general? I feel like that should be an easy answer.
12 is too young in general, correct? Because,
Okay.
yes.
And I don't
But
think you're
I want
coming
to.
at
I
this
want to
from that
define.
angle.
But what you're saying, your definition of adult is not even the actual definition. Do you know what the definition of child is? Like anybody watching this can Google it. You can Google it too. The definition of child is somebody who has not reached puberty yet. That's the definition.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you get into like the abeebophile or whatever as opposed to pedophile, and those are all. Like
I don't know.
very
I have no idea what those terms are. I don't know
Pedophile and hebophile.
what that is, but I'm saying that's the actual definition. When somebody reaches maturity, it's based off of biological and physical maturity.
Yes, that is why you have child and then adolescent and then adult. That is, adolescent is puberty. When you are done your puberty, you are now biologically an adult, except for your brain, your frontal cortex development.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And
So
right
so
now-
so it varies for everybody. Adulthood is not something that you can set in stone because it's different for the entire world. Right? I moved out when I was 14. A lot of people don't move out until they're 25. I went
You
through puberty when I
didn't.
was 17.
Where
A lot of
did
people
you
went through
go,
puberty when they were
Sneako?
13, 14, 15. It changes for everybody. So for you to say that this is the set in stone age and say you're a pedophile if it's under 18, and then if you're over 18,
But you're
fine.
not a pedophile
Well, then
if
that's
it's under 18,
weird
you're a
line that doesn't make sense.
hebephile.
So you're going to say this person is a terrible person if they're 17 years old, 364 days, and right after that they're good to go. Well, it changes for everybody. So we have to have something, a definition. We have to be
We do.
realistic with
It's
everybody.
but
Well, we
there
don't.
is-
But you're saying we, but that's not even the case in the country we live in.
Why argue against it? If you don't want the age of consent to be lowered, why are you making arguments that the same people who do make? Right now, what you're saying is kind of what
Sneako
Dan was
stopped
saying.
juicing, so he's thinking clearer.
The North American Man-Boy Lover Association.
Plus, there's the
Right, because
emancipated
because
minor
these people
situation.
don't
Yep.
want- They want to have sex to take advantage, and they don't abide by the rules of marriage. They don't have any sort of morality. They just want to
sex
have.
out of it.
I'm arguing for this because I believe in marriage. Sex should only be within wedlock. That's why I'm talking
Oh,
about this.
Why if
Fucking
you're arguing, we can take sex out of it.
Mr.
Why,
Hookup
when you're
guy
arguing
over
for
here.
marriage, do you want it to drop? Like, okay,
When did I say,
The
when did I
word
say-
legal
just
is
because I
being
don't believe in
avoided by
age of consent
Sneako.
does not mean
That's
that I want it to
actually
drop.
a very
Like,
good
see, that's
catch.
where like the internet
Spitballs.
can go apply that just because I'm saying.
Well, no.
No, because you're saying the definition of an adult
That-
is 18.
I'm gonna pause
saying
this here
that's
for
an
a
arbitrary
second.
number, and that makes no sense.
That is a very good catch there, Spittlebuggies. First, that he's that he is avoiding the word legal, which is very, very interesting for him to be not saying that word.
We should encourage marriage when people reach maturity. That makes much more logical
That's
sense.
even more vague, though.
Yes, it is.
But also, you directly
It's vague
did
because
say
it's
to me
different for
that
everybody.
When someone can legally drive, they should be able to legally marry. You did say that to me.
Right.
You
When
can
somebody
legally
somebody is legally ready to drive, the same thing. I think adults should drive cars. That's why I told you that.
Yeah, but you 15 and 16-year-olds can drive cars. You said when someone can legally drive
Across the
they
world,
should
15 and
legally marry.
16-year-olds can have sex too. I think that people should not
see what's-
operate. But see, you keep thinking
just-
that I'm saying this because I want the age to be lowered. That's not what I'm talking about at all.
That's what it comes across
But
as, though.
it
When you
does.
say
Maybe
that
with
if
the
you
internet
are,
brain because people in the West.
Oh, your internet brain.
You keep thinking that I'm saying this because I want the age to be
Really?
lowered. That's not what I'm talking about at all.
that's what it comes across as, though. When you
maybe
say
maybe
that
with
if
the
you are-
internet brain because people in the West, they want to have sex all the time and they have a different sort of mindset.
Oh, yes, and you never wanted to have sex all the time. You were never part of the hookup culture. No, you're just saintly Sneako over here.
Right here in the Middle East, I'm in the Middle East right now. They want to get married and then have sex. So people, just because I'm saying this does not mean automatically lower. No,
And
no, that's not the case
I
at all.
love how whenever he's in the country he's in, he just like magically adopts the way that they think. Have you ever noticed that?
I want to ask you then, because you're insinuating that it sounds creepy and that I sound like a pedophile. What's the definition of pedophile?
it is an adult who is attracted to children.
Yeah, it comes.
The term pedophilia is for prepubescent children. The term hebephilia is for pubescent children. Ephebophilia is the term for children between adolescence and adult.
It comes from the Greek word pedo means child and phile means love. So somebody who loves a child.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
An adult who is attracted to a child.
To a child, somebody who has not reached physical maturity.
Yes.
That's the definition
And
of
then-
child.
Black Romeo, this is not a shot at you. It's just really funny because the only reason I know of that whole difference between the two is because the last 10 years it has been thrown out in everything when it comes to age of consent arguments in the libertarian circles and the red pill circles and all that interesting shit. And you never really heard about it until you started hearing about them talk about how it's okay to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's not really pedophilia. It's hebephilia.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, are you 50?
No.
Is she 12? Well, yes. Is it fucked up? Yes.
Child. Somebody who hasn't
Right.
reached physical maturity. It has nothing to do with 18. The definition of the word talks about physical maturity, not the U.S. government.
Oh my lord.
But there needs to be an agreed
It
upon
talks
place.
about
Otherwise,
physical
you could just
maturity,
say,
not the
again,
U.S.
you
definition.
said
Oh lord.
When you can legally drive, you should be able to legally marry.
Right.
We don't have to talk about sex.
Ad break?
I think it's
Okay,
to be
thank you,
marrying a
Spittlebuggies.
15 or 16-year-old. Probably not, right? I would imagine probably not.
It depends. So this is where the age of consent becomes arbitrary. I don't even believe like that. Consent is a weird thing to even speak about, but it should be the fun,
Wait.
right. If I want to marry a girl, I shouldn't even just get consent from her. I should get consent from her parents. She should want to say yes.
Wait.
Is a
Probably not, right? I would imagine probably not.
It depends. So this is where the age of consent becomes arbitrary. I don't even believe like that. Consent is a weird thing to even speak about, but it should be the father, right? If I want to marry a girl,
It's on the Twitch side. I'd keep burning through it right now because Spittle can come over to YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to miss out on this right now.
This
The YouTube
is-
side's getting viewership.
This is insane. He just said speaking about consent is weird.
It is. It is.
No,
weird.
no. What he just said was to have the conversation about whether consent should exist
Oh.
is weird.
See, yeah, that's wrong.
No, yeah. Sneako doesn't think consent should exist.
Can I hit you in? Okay. So Sneako wants to go back to clubbing and dragging into cave.
Oh, and the father should be
What?
should be giving away the daughter.
Weird thing to even speak about, but it should be the father,
Traditionally,
right?
that's
If I want to marry a
right?
girl,
That's the
I shouldn't
whole
even just get
concept of
consent
that.
from her. I should get
So
consent from her
this
parents.
arrangement, That's the whole. He's doing the whole Andrew Tate half Muslim bullshit. That's what that is. Don't forget. That's where that side comes from. He crossed over. He did that whole conversion shit, right?
No,
But not really. He converted, but he didn't really convert.
No, what Sneako did was he did the I'm in a Muslim country, so now I'm Muslim, and then as soon as he goes back to a different country, he's gonna be different.
Well, he's in Turkey right now, so what does that tell you?
This is what he does. He goes from country to country, and as soon as he's in that country, he's that type of culture.
Brainworms.
That's
Go
what
work on the van.
that's what
She
he
should want to
is.
say yes. Her parents should want to say yes. That's consent from the family, and then you get married. That's the Islamic way. That's the only way that makes sense. This
That's the
American way, if
only
this
way
girl
that
wants to have
makes
sex
sense,
now,
huh?
she gave consent, and then you get all these false allegations like, oh, she was drunk, oh, she took it back, oh, she retracted consent. All this stuff, like there's not even a specific way that we can define consent. What is consent? Some people say it's
Because
yes. Some
talking
people
about the difference makes you sound like a pedophile. That's how I found out about the difference. He said, the only reason I know the difference is because a comedian made a joke about it. He explained the differences and then said, do you know why people don't care about the difference? Because talking about the difference makes you sound like a pedophile. So if the girl doesn't have parents, she can never consent, right? What happens if the parents are dead? What happens then? What if the girl is a Harry Potter type of person, and they have no parents? What are they supposed to do then?
People say it's like nonverbal communication. Some people say that it doesn't count because she was under the influence or she was intimidated. Even this is an arbitrary, is a weird way to define when you're allowed to be in a relationship with somebody.
You're kind of talking around it, though. Those are all very different things.
Yeah.
Like I said, we don't have to be talking about sex.
No.
I was talking about marriage. The question was, do you think, and you said when you are legally able to drive, you should be able to legally marry. Do you think it is okay for an adult to legally marry a 15 or 16-year-old?
Okay, well, by my logic, if the man is physically mature, if he's went through puberty and he's mentally ready at the age of 16, he's an adult. If he wants to get married to another girl who becomes a woman,
I just said an adult. Is it okay for an adult?
right? And I established, but we haven't even established exactly what an adult. So if somebody goes through puberty and they're physically ready, they're biologically ready, they're an adult. So the two 16-year-olds can be considered adults by my logic.
We're not talking about two.
What are you talking
16-year-olds.
about?
We're talking about an adult.
That is an
When you're
adult.
arguing it,
Okay,
what
so
I'm sa-
now we're stuck on the definition of an adult. Sneako thinks a 16-year-old is an adult, and Charlie won't come down from his 18 and over. So now they're talking past each other.
Thing is that so then what is an adult now?
Okay. We'll use your age. Someone who is 25. Is it okay for someone who is in their 20s to marry a 15 or 16-year-old? And let me explain, when you're doing your arguments, it's coming from an adult.
Consent is
I've
proper
never heard you say,
permission.
like,
Yes.
2 teenagers should be able to marry. Like, I haven't heard that with these
So
states. I'm
sexual
talking
assault
about
is okay
someone in your
according to
position,
Sneako.
in the 20s.
Apparently.
Is it okay for you to marry a 15 or 16-year-old?
But teenager, even bringing up this term that has nothing to do with child and adult. So there's two phases. You're a child, and then you physically mature.
I don't know why you can't just
your
answer
body
that
become.
directly.
I'm saying the difference between a child and adult is when you're physically and when you're biologically, when you're mentally ready to have kids. That's the difference.
But you can be physically ready to have kids without being and nowhere near mentally ready to have kids. I was physically ready to have children
An adult and a 15
for
or 16-year-old.
for 12 years before I had my first child.
If it's illegal,
Does that mean I should have had my first child at 12?
If that's illegal, if that's not permissible, then we don't do it. We don't break the law.
Holy shit, dude.
I'm talking about your personal beliefs. Do you think someone in their 20s should be able to marry a 15 or 16-year-old?
To someone in their 20s should be. I mean, I personally wouldn't do it. I don't know many people who would do it. The maturity for people in the teenagers in the West is getting much worse. But
Then why would you think? Okay, you just torpedoed your own argument. You're saying that teenagers are less mature now. So then if they're less mature, how could they possibly be ready to have kids and get married?
We're talking globally. Let's just talk globally. Like, do you think it is okay for, and I'm not talking about just you specifically anymore, anyone, do you think it's okay for anyone in their 20s, an adult, to marry a 15 or 16-year-old?
A 21-year-old, if there was a marriage where the father consented and the daughter consented, and it was both good on both families and they wanted to do it, why am I going to get involved? Why should we get the government involved?
Well,
why would I tell them if everybody's consenting, if everybody's okay with it, if the parents are okay with it, if nobody's being harmed, if it's going to be okay, if they're both abiding by the rules and they're not hurting each other?
By the rules? What rules? You mean the law that says a 21-year-old and a 16-year-old really shouldn't be having sex with each other? Do you mean those rules? Or a 21-year-old and a 15-year-old? How about those rules? If they abide by those rules, can they get married? Wow. Okay.
But they're still, like, they're at best a sophomore in high school. They can't consent to something like that. Like, do you think a
okay, so now it's
16-year-old
sophomore in high school
like
versus senior in high school. What's the difference? Like, what's the difference maturity-wise?
I'm just saying, like, I'm giving you a perspective on where that age would be in life. Like, they can't consent to something like that.
That's probably you're bringing up an outlier that's probably not going to happen as much. I'm saying that these are arbitrary reasons to say, like, a sophomore versus a senior in high school. How much different were you really maturity wise? It wasn't that much of a difference.
I'm sorry. Sophomore is 15, senior is 18. You're fucking a whole different person between 15 and 18.
Keep saying 18 is because in California, where they post Hollywood movies, it's 18. And so everybody across the world, this is the standard that we believe in. This is the correct age, exactly on the dot. And if it's anything under that, are you going to say here that if a 21-year-old got married to a 17-year-old who was almost 18, is that 21-year-old a pedophile?
But we all agree that kids can't consent because they can't understand the consequences. The issue is that the issue is that many teenagers between 16 and 18 can conceivably understand the concept. Yep. So according to Sneako, if you give a 5-year-old hormones and they develop at 7, you should be allowed. Yep.
I would say that is a morally...
The fuck? This video is unavailable. But? Holy shit. They just took it down. It just got taken down, like, right in front of me. Holy fuck. That's insane. That's fucking crazy. Well, this was a fan channel because Charlie privated the stream. That's insane. That's crazy. I can't believe that it got pulled down. Like, literally in front of me. That's crazy. Okay, well, I guess we will watch Charlie respond because the video that we were watching is gone. What the... Jesus Christ. That has never happened to me before. I've never been watching a video and it has literally just been pulled down as I'm sitting there. That's crazy. This video is unavailable. Did it get copyright claimed as we watched? It might have. It was either copyright claimed or pulled down. I don't know what happened. But yeah, let's take a look at what Charlie has to say.
He asked to just talk so he could explain his perspective on the age of consent. I'm not a debater. I don't do that. I have conversations. I'm always willing to talk to people. The kids, though, is wildin'. I mean, young people transition. Like, it is a thing that happens. It's not like that. It's a long process. At least my understanding of it is. It's not like you say, hey, I'm ready to transition, you go in and immediately get surgery. Like, it's a long process that takes tons and tons of decision making.
Yeah, which children can't make, Charlie. I'm sorry. They can't make any of those decisions. Like, if a child really wants to transition, then they can do, like, parent-guided research on it. Yeah, it's what was I gonna say? You can't, like, parent guided research and learning about how it works. Like, you can't just have a child doing the transition shit.
Like, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know why it became such a huge issue that somehow is overlooking the numerous amount of times that Sneako said literal 12 to 16-year-olds.
Snickers probably struck it. Probably.
Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm not a debater, like I said, so maybe I couldn't articulate points enough, which is fine, because, like I said, I didn't go into a debate. He said we were just going to talk. I thought we were going to have a conversation.
You should never think you're just going to have a conversation with Sneako. Sneako thought he was going to have, like, a Destiny-style debate with you there, Charlie.
Well, when he asked if I was recording it, I said I don't have to do that. We can just talk. I didn't know he was streaming for a debate. So then it became debate topics as opposed to a conversation. But even in that context,
which is kind
numerous fucking times.
Which is kind of a dick move. Like, one person thinks it's just a talk, the other person is literally streaming it as a debate thing. That's just crazy. Oh wow, some rando struck it. Huh. I'm pretty sure Sneako is trying to defend the criticism of Islam, or that people have had of Islam, about about Muhammad marrying a child. I'm almost convinced that's why he has this point. Probably. Charlie doesn't know the details of kids transitioning. He basically says that in his intro there. He thinks it's a long, in-depth process, not something that can be done on a whim. And, like, he's kind of right, but there are too many doctors that are pushing for puberty blockers for kids.
He said 12 to 16 can marry and fuck adults. That's crazy. And probably we did another spicy thing for BK, but it wasn't really spicy. But, like, the thing is, again, everyone's so upset with my position on trans people, which is really surprising to me. And I think maybe people just have this idea that when you transition, it's like that. So, like, a 9-year-old goes in and immediately has their dick cut off, like Sneako kept saying. I don't know if he really believes that or if it's just hyperbole. But I gave him the benefit of the doubt that he was just using hyperbole. And I was going to ask that, Christian, but I didn't get a chance. Because Sneako believes that there's mature 12-year-olds, so then I don't know why he would have a problem with Ava talking to a 13-year-old if it was a mature 13-year-old in his eyes, like to Sneako. I don't get it. But he doesn't like Ava, which is why...
That's true. That is a good point.
Bad person.
If Sneako on one hand thinks that, like, 12, 13, 14, 15 is mature enough to marry, then why is it such a big deal that Ava... Now, I think it is a big deal. I'm here because here's where the action is. No worries. But yeah, it's like, I think that if Sneako's okay with that, then he should be okay with Ava talking to a kid. I think it's just because Ava was trans that he wasn't okay with it. I'm not okay with it because he's an adult, or they are an adult, and the child was not.
Thinking he's a bad person, I think he's a very confused person. Yeah, sweet. Thanks for that, Pandora. This has been a really fucking frustrating week, honestly. Usually internet shit doesn't get to me, but this week has been really miserable. Like, unironically. Getting called a transphobe, like, all kinds of stuff. And now getting called the opposite. Like, it's actually unreal. Like,
oh, and then before that, I saw he was doing, like, this giveaway stream, and people were like, this is really weird for you. And he's like, I've been doing this for 8 months. Like, I don't know what you guys want me to say. It's kind of shitty for Charlie, like, and I'm trying not to sound like a Charlie simp or anything like that, but it is kind of shitty to be like called all sorts of different things for no reason.
Like, the internet's reached a point where no matter what, you can't win.
Nope.
If someone's made their mind up about you, or if you have something that disagrees,
you can't win on the internet.
it actually, you are the worst person to them, and they will spin it in any way possible, which blows my fucking mind, and it's just really nauseating. We did the gummy bear, the 9 million Scoville one. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. It's just the state of it. No, Burger King is just not good in general. It's almost never good. And yeah, Code Lyoko was great, but I don't know if it was ahead of its time. Thanks, Whisker, or Whiskey. And I didn't hear about the fire tornado. And I haven't picked up any Bloomborough yet. It came out today. No, I did not see that. Nick's, I'll have to check that out in a little bit. I liked Code Lyoko.
I wish that, like, how does he manage to
kids
keep
can make
chat,
life-altering
like,
decisions. Kids don't even know what they want every day.
Chat?
Like,
does he have only
yes,
followers,
right.
only chat?
You know what they
or
also
something?
can't do? Consent to marrying an adult. I feel like there's this huge misconception with transitioning. I think that might be where this is stemming from. Like I really think that this has to just be some kind of misunderstanding.
I don't
like
think
to
so,
give
Charlie.
a charitable explanation. Again, no kid is going in saying I want to transition, and a doctor's coming in with a fucking scalpel and cock remover. Like, that's not happening.
No, Charlie,
no.
it's
just
not.
magic.
But
And, one piece of
at the same time, there are doctors that are prescribing puberty blockers, and they are prescribing all this shit that is irreversible. And there are a lot of kids that are growing up and regretting it. And that's not okay either.
piece at the moment, St. Clair, and Yu-Gi-Oh! You made an anime opening. You're gonna be playing Assassin's Creed. Yeah, it doesn't look good. I saw a little more of the gameplay, but I'll give it a whirl. And I know the Skibidi Toilet movie's on the way.
Oh
It'll be
god.
good.
There is actually a Skibidi Toilet movie. There's actually gonna... Oh my Jesus Christ. That's insane to me. A Skibidi Toilet movie. Yes, it's my birthday! Share the stream! Welcome to the internet, Charlie. He's now experiencing what people have been for 10 years now. Yup. Pretty much. Pretty much.
I don't think children should be able to make that decision for themselves at that early of an age. And that's totally fine. And the thing is, they don't. And again, it's not an instant thing. It's a fucking process that takes years and years and years. So, like, it's not immediately going in and having it happen. Maybe there's, like, really fringe cases where that happens, but that's not what I'm referring to. And there's a new Uzumaki trailer. I thought that already came out. You talking about the Netflix one? I think people are misconstruing what you mean when you say transitioning. First thing people think of is physical surgery. That's what I'm saying. I think it might just be like a complete misunderstanding.
No, it's not,
like to be very
though.
charitable.
Like, I know what he's talking about, and I still don't agree with children going through with it.
I like to imagine most of the people that watch my shit don't have hatred in their heart for others like that. So I'm hoping it's just a misunderstanding. Like, I'm hoping you're right. It'd be super disappointing. Because I've never been, like, quiet. Like, I don't hate trans people or anything. I've never heard of Karate Survivor. And I saw that last night, Solar. Like, the Cliff Notes. And that's fine, Lawman. I think that's a totally fine thing. That doesn't bother me. It's Reese Blue. Yeah, the Deadpool movie is pretty good. Your logic makes no sense. I think with child marriage, this is just a misunderstanding. What? That doesn't apply at all. What the fuck? These are like the most ridiculous arguments, man. What? No, EDF came out. I just haven't played it yet. And yeah, I'm excited for the Bloomborough set. I was mocking you. Yeah, it's a terrible mock, though. Like, you put it in quotes, like you're not mocking anything. You're just making a dog shit point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how in 2024, the big 2024, saying a 12-year-old cannot be a physically, mentally mature adult capable of marrying an adult is a hot take. Like, that under no circumstances should be like some kind of
not a
debate
hot take.
argument.
I'm
Like,
sorry.
anything under 18 being unacceptable, like being bad, is somehow contentious. Like, I don't get it.
His 2021 comments.
Saying a 9-year-old can get sex reassignment surgery is literally just as bad as supporting child marriage, you lunatic. No one's saying a 9-year-old is gonna go get their dick cut off and I'm gonna be pumping my fist about it. I was assuming, and maybe this was too charitable, he was just talking about the process of transitioning young.
Charlie, you don't understand that there are literally parents who will take their children to pediatricians and they will get puberty blockers, which is the first step to the surgery, and it's irreversible. So, like, this is a problem. It's not a good thing.
That is a process that's years of therapy, years and years before, and I'm sure there's fringe cases. I'm sure you can point to fringe cases, you always can. Medications, way before there's ever any kind of fucking surgery.
Dude, the medications are puberty blockers. They're irreversible. Charlie just doesn't know. I don't blame him for not knowing. He should look at both sides, even people who have detransitioned. Yes. Because this is literally, he just doesn't know. And he's giving people the benefit of the doubt when he doesn't know.
I assumed the question was about transitioning in general, which I've never been shy about talking about. People should be able to make whatever decisions they want with their own body. When it comes to someone that is under 18 making a decision for their body, they can make that decision. I'm not talking about them going and getting their whole cock cut off without giving any thought to it. It's a years-long process.
No, they cannot make the decision to go on puberty blockers if they are not of consent. I'm sorry. They cannot. That's not a thing that they can do. Just like no child can make medical decisions until they are of the age of consent. And this is a medical decision.
That if they and their family have gone through and talked through everything, then I'm not going to go there and fucking stop them. That's up to them. That's a fine thing if they want to do that. And then they can get the surgery when they get older. If they want to continue going down there.
But what if they don't, though? What if they're on these irreversible puberty blockers and then they realize, oh shit, this isn't what I wanted, but they've now gone on puberty blockers and are forever, like, not going to be mature and physically able to have children.
Not me. Like, that's not my place to interject and say that they're wrong for it. This is so fucking frustrating. Children can't consent. Why can they do surgery? They're not. I'm not saying they can do surgery. I thought we were talking about the whole process of getting to that point. I thought that's what the conversation was about.
They skipped that step years ago. Yep. See, this is what I mean. He still thinks therapy is a step, but they skipped that step years ago. Yep. They did.
I thought he was just using hyperbole with the snipping dick off thing. But it's what's mind-boggling to me is that that's the big takeaway from our whole conversation. None of him talking about actual fucking 12 to 16-year-olds marrying adults. Like, it blows my fucking mind. That's somehow the takeaway. Did you know most of the world doesn't let you drive till you're 18? I don't know the rest of the fucking world. No, I didn't know it was 18 to drive in other parts of the world. Couldn't tell you. All I know is that the take of if you can drive a car, you can get married is fucking crazy to me. In the U.S., 15 or 16. And then even in certain cases, in Sneako's Utopia, 12. Like,
the 12 thing, that was weird for me. For Sneako to like outright be like, yeah, 12 is fine.
That's crazy. Earlier in our conversation, he point blank said 12 is too young. And then towards the end, when I said, well, what if it's a mature 12-year-old? He said, yep, then that's fine. There's no such thing as a fucking mature 12-year-old. No. And the fact that that's something that no one's talking about blows my fucking mind.
Oh, he's getting pissed.
And it's all the focus on how I feel about transitioning. When people think I'm talking about a child going in and getting their whole fucking dick cut off, when I was not under the impression that that's what we were talking about.
No, it is.
It's been a brutal fucking week. Because again, it's no matter what, it's a lose-lose.
And Charlie, the thing is that you don't know what people are talking about in this. And now you're seeing that people... it's not a years-long process anymore. It's a doctor's appointment process, that's it. And Charlie's too good of a person. He can't conceive that kids would be allowed to irreversibly harm themselves. Nope. Nope. Unfortunately, there's an issue with the age of consent because parents can sign off. Those parents need checked. Yep. The people that are sitting here going with the whole age of consent thing for transitioning, that's just, it doesn't work. There we go.
I was a transphobe to a lot of people 12 hours ago. Now, it's swung the total opposite direction. And yet, nothing else. Nothing else.
No.
It's just such a fucking terrible landscape. Yes, I know the age of consent is, as Sneako loved to remind me, the age of consent is 16 in a lot of places. That doesn't make it fine. Like, it still doesn't make it okay for someone fucking 25-year-olds to be fucking a 16-year-old in the UK.
It also doesn't make it okay to transition a child and put them on puberty blockers. So, neither your arguments for both of you are bad.
I don't know how we've reached this point where this becomes such a fucking hot button issue. Yeah, I saw the Dr. K stuff as well. I don't know if that's true or not, Spooky, but I thought that's what it was. He pushed back on it. Yeah, I thought in the UK, the 16-year-old consent was only for people in their own age bracket, but I mean, maybe, I'm guessing he's done his research on age of consent. I have no fucking clue. I couldn't tell you.
I wouldn't trust, like, half the shit Sneako says, because Sneako likes to pull stats out of his ass quite regularly.
It's just this unbelievable fucking culture war on nothing. On actually nothing.
The age of consent to get married, Jordan. It's like he doesn't know about the Jazz Jennings thing. Or the James, what was his name? The James case of the James Unger. That was who it was.
It wasn't supposed to be a debate, man. I'm not a debater. He said, do you want to talk about it? I thought we were just going to talk. In the beginning of the stream, he said, are you recording it? I said, no, I don't need to do that. But I can if you want. And then he was streaming it. I wasn't going into a debate. He asked to just talk so he could explain his perspective on the age of consent. I'm not a debater.
That is...
Don't do that. I have conversations.
You got trapped.
I was willing to talk to people.
Sneako trapped Charlie. He completely trapped Charlie. He completely like blindsided him and tried to get like a Destiny style debate out of somebody that doesn't do debates. And then Charlie got all like, and then Charlie got steamrolled by the internet. It's insane. I feel bad for him because he half of this shit he doesn't really understand because he doesn't look into it and he doesn't see the sides of everything coming in, and like it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Alright, I am going to quickly go to the bathroom and refill my water, and then we're going to watch some more videos. So please share the stream while I'm gone. And if you want me to do some jumping jacks in this lovely top, hit up the Streamlabs link, which is in the description. And I will see you in a few minutes. Okay, we're back. Charlie lives in a bubble. He's now peeking outside. He's now peeking out. And now seeing that the world the rest of us live in, and he's confused by what he sees. Yep. Facts, Black Romeo. Facts. That is very true. See here. When streamers get exposed as predators. This should be good. Let's see what this video has to give us. And like I said, if you'd like to make a tip to the Streamlabs link, it is streamlabs.com/blindpress in the description.
Cases where streamers turned out to be huge creeps or predators, making it seem like even your favorite streamer could betray you. My name's Ryan, and we'll be talking about 6 of the most notable streamers that were exposed as predators, starting with the most recent example that's all over the internet, Dr. Disrespect.
This is an actual serious, disgusting situation where I truly believe this scumbag needs to be banned off of the platforms that he's on.
Yeah, that was Mudahar's take about Dr. Disrespect, because it was literally covered up by Twitch for 4 years.
To fully understand the Dr. Disrespect situation, we have to go back to where it all started, back when he used to stream on Twitch. He was once the face of that platform with a peak of over 50,000 paid subscribers in 2018. By 2020, he had gained nearly 4.5 million followers and was on track to grow even more. Unfortunately for the doc, his whole career came crashing down in an instant. On the 26th of June 2020, Twitch permanently banned his account without providing any clear reason for banning such a beloved streamer out of the blue. Even the doc himself didn't have any idea of why his account was terminated so abruptly.
Why did you get banned? Guess what? I want you to look me in my eyes when I say this. We still have no idea.
The mysterious ban, coupled with the fact that during his final stream, Doc looked like he just learned something devastating, made the whole thing extremely suspicious.
We'll get through this, okay? And,
Hey, Christopher.
Dun dun dun, you better not taunt me.
Beck began streaming on YouTube with great success, with his streams getting millions of views. But some fans still wanted to unveil the reason behind the ban. Little did those fans know that the truth will come out in 2024, but they're not gonna like what they see.
Yeah, nobody's gonna enjoy the tea that gets spilled about Dr. Disrespect.
The truth bomb dropped on Dr. Disrespect fans on the 22nd of June 2024 when Cody Connors, an ex-Twitch employee, blew the whistle in a tweet that read, he got banned because he got caught.
Okay, I'm going to say it. I hate the manner of speech Ryan is using. The mysterious vocal inflection. Yeah. He says, look me in the eyes. You can't see his eyes because he's wearing sunglasses. What an idiot.
Caught sexting a mother in the then existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. In other words, he was accusing Doc of being a predator, and the internet didn't believe him at first, with replies such as, source, just trust me bro, and you can't just say this with no evidence posted. With even Ludwig stating that Cody was not the most reliable source for such serious allegations.
That is true though. You can't make an allegation like that without evidence. I will, like, as much evidence as we have now, you can't just say stuff like that without receipts.
I want to preface now, Cody is by no means the perfect whistleblower, and I would not use his character to verify whether this info is true or not.
However, before Cody could do anything to prove his statement, Doc managed to make the situation worse for himself with one tweet. When Jake Lucky reposted Cody's original statement, Doc responded to him by saying, Jake, seriously, I get it. It's a hot topic, but this has been settled. No wrongdoing was acknowledged and they paid out the whole contract.
No wrongdoing was acknowledged. Oh, that's not a good look for a tweet.
Extremely awkward phrasing of this statement from Doc raised tons of red flags and made everyone even more suspicious. Because after all, if Doc was truly innocent, he would have no reason to state his innocence in such a roundabout way. He made another tweet to further clarify his statement but used the same roundabout language like, no wrongdoing was found and I was paid. Despite this, many loyal fans were still on Doc's side, including influential figures in the YouTube gaming community like the Actman, who even tried to defend Dr. Disrespect on Twitter. Degenerate troglodyte losers are trying to slander him with serious accusations that could destroy his entire career.
And the Actman is not a small channel.
Providing
crazy.
literally zero proof. In other words, some fucking put have a vendetta/grudge against him and want to damage his reputation as much as possible. However, the ever-increasing scrutiny and backlash from the internet finally got to Dr. Disrespect, leading him to posting a lengthy tweet in which he basically confirmed the allegations, stating, everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside of my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. He then went on to admit that he did send inappropriate messages to a minor using the Twitch Whispers feature while trying to downplay his intentions. Were there Twitch Whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017?
An individual minor. Jesus Christ. That still sounds so wrong.
The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind his messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes lean too much in the direction of being inappropriate.
Whoa! Sometimes lead too much in the direction of being inappropriate. Dude, minor child? Why are you talking to a minor child in the first place?
But nothing more. And as if the tweet wasn't damaging enough, Doc actually removed the word minor from his statement soon after making the post, and then added it back when people began calling him out on it. Something that Charlie also brought up in his video covering the whole incident.
Now, the doc actually edited this statement twice. So initially, he posted it with the word minor in it, saying, were there messages with an individual minor? The answer is yes. But then shortly after he published it, he edited the word minor out of it. So he removed that. He redacted it like a fucking CIA document, trying to bury it, just snapping it out of existence. So then it read, were there messages with an individual? The answer is yes. But people were quick to notice the edit. And you can actually check edit history on Twitter, which I didn't know you can do.
Yeah, you can. And it also shows you when it was edited last and how many times it was edited.
But you could clearly see that the original no longer matched the current one because he took the word minor out. So when people caught him red-handed, he just edited it one more time to put the word minor back into it.
Charlie then brought up the bizarre way Doc ended his tweet, which read, "They want me to disappear. Yeah, f***ing right."
He tries to close this statement with a really hard, cheesy 80s action movie one-liner.
Oh yeah,
they
the
want
make
me to
my
disappear.
day.
Yeah.
The
right.
Dirty Harry thing.
Granny shifting, not double clutching like you should. You're lucky you didn't blow the welds off the intake. I'm not leaving. It's really kind of ridiculous to put that there with accusations like this. These are super serious. Like, this isn't something people take lightly at all.
He also tore apart the notion, which some of Doc's most loyal fans brought up, that maybe he didn't know that the person he was messaging was a minor.
Now, what's not clear and
that.
what a lot of people are coping with is that maybe Dr. Disrespect didn't know the age of the person he was communicating with. But I truly feel if that was the case, Dr. Disrespect would have mentioned that, saying that he had those communications with this person that he believed was of age but turned out to be a minor.
Yeah,
I think
he
if that was the reality,
I got catfished or something. He wouldn't have just been like, were there messages with an individual minor? Yes.
I think he would have mentioned that in his statement, but he didn't. He didn't say that he was under the impression he was communicating with an adult. He just says that he had conversations with an individual minor.
And sure enough, Charlie was
Were there real intentions? No. What were the fake intentions then? That's a good question.
completely right, since a former Twitch trust and safety employee confirmed to the Rolling Stone that Dr. Disrespect continued to send graphic messages to a minor he knew to be underage, stating, "I recall that Dr. Disrespect was made aware by the individual that they were underage during the conversation, after which he indicated that this was no problem and continued on. There was no confusion." To summarize, according to what we know so far, Dr. Disrespect knowingly sent explicit messages to a minor and tried to meet up with them at TwitchCon.
And this is all from having access to the Twitch Whispers app. Or not app, but the Twitch Whispers logs from the... What's it called? Oh, hey! Canada won a medal! Yay! We don't win many summer medals, because we're not a summer sports country, but we won a fencing medal! Yay! Go Canada! Woohoo!
Unsurprisingly, this revelation has been a death sentence for his career. His channel lost over 70,000 subscribers in less than a week, and everyone's also making fun of him with comments such as, "From Doc to PDF," and "Dr. Disrespect the age of consent." Some are even comparing him to the likes of the notorious cupcake lover EDP445. Except that's just the beginning of Dr. Disrespect's downfall, as he also received a significant financial hit. After the initial allegations came to light, Midnight Society, the game studio that Doc co-founded, dropped him from the company, stating that while these facts are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved, especially the 55 developers and families we've employed, along with our community of players. YouTube has also stepped in and suspended all monetization on Dr. Disrespect's channel, including the paid members. A couple months before these allegations surfaced, Doc also revealed that he was about to make deals with big name brands like Nike and Oakley, but they fell through after the unexpected Twitch ban.
Ouch. Wow. He really did take a big financial hit. Holy fuck.
Built everything up to that point. You know, we lost out on a lot of big deals, a lot of sponsorships. I mean, shit, we had Nike, we were talking to Oakley. I mean, and that's no joke.
In addition to losing every source of his income, Doc is also losing the respect and support of his peers and friends, with Nick Merckx stating,
"Seeing everything on Twitter, and I read through Doc's tweet, and in that very tweet, he basically confirms that, you know, he was texting an underage girl."
And Nick Merckx just sounds like devastated by this.
And it went weird sometimes, you know, and look, just to be blunt and straightforward, man.
Field curling? No, fencing.
That's inexcusable. It's unacceptable, right? I can't support it. I can't defend it. And look, the boys and I are torn up over it too, man.
Tim the Tatman had a similar sentiment regarding this situation as well.
Wow, this is absolutely insane, bro. My bottom line, I think, is if what he is saying, where he said that he was messaging a minor and it would sometimes lead to teeter on inappropriate.
Teeter on.
If he knew that was a minor and those were the messages being sent, I cannot support that.
And even the Actaman, who earlier tried to defend the Doc, had this to say.
I'm supremely disappointed in him. Nobody wants to believe somebody so successful who entertains millions of people could be guilty of doing something that's so f***ed up. You know? It doesn't matter whether he was charged or found guilty in a trial, okay? He admitted it. He confessed. He's guilty. And that's f***ed up. There's no excuse for it, Doc. Jesus.
The Dr. Disrespect situation is still evolving and could take another wild turn that no one expects. That said, it's truly sad to see so many beloved YouTubers and streamers get exposed as predators, though the next streamer on this list didn't care if his predatory behavior was on camera or not. Unlike most streamers who steadily build an audience over the span of years, John Zerka got a massive head start on
Zerka!
Twitch. He first appeared in the world of streaming in January of 2019.
Are we gonna see the kick shit? Are we gonna see the kick shit with Heel Mike?
On one of the dating streams hosted by Raj Patel, who you might now know as Austin Show, and his unique personality quickly made him the center of everyone's attention. For context, the format of this dating show was that Raj would invite a bunch of attractive female streamers to flirt with various males who were brought in one at a time. This was also a chance for the male participants to possibly earn a date. However, Zerka went the complete opposite way, and began roasting the other participants without any filter.
What's the top left girl?
Candyland.
Jesus.
What?
Yes, Candy. Candyland is her name. Hello!
Oh my God. Jesus Christ, why are you yelling?
Candyland, right?
Yes, I'm Candyland. Let me see. I'm excited.
Okay, so it's an English dictionary.
I hope he's not gonna show his
I can't understand. Every time she speaks, I don't understand her.
This made him an overnight sensation, with this stream reaching over 500,000 views in less than a day of being posted.
She's got just as much of an accent as he does. Like, what the fuck? That's ridiculous. Doc lost everything because of bad decisions. If not, or if there's no laws broken, why so shady? That's a very good question. That is a very, very good question.
People also love this brand of humor, with one comment reading, I honestly didn't know that Twitch is this fun, but little did everyone know at the time that they were swooning over a predator. After seeing the heaps of positive responses from the public, Zerka decided to create his own Twitch channel and officially began his IRL streaming career. By 2023, he had gained over 190,000 followers and was on a quick path to further growth. However, after a series of bans from Twitch, he decided to switch platforms and came to Kick in 2023. During this time, he also thought of a genius marketing strategy to go viral: PDF file jokes. Put simply, he would post tweets admitting that he's a PDF file as a joke in hopes of stirring up controversy and increasing the size of his audience. I admit it, I am a PDF file just to be cool. Being a PDF file is the same
a Trump hoodie.
I hate when my 16-year-old girlfriend gets excited for her birthday, or what I like to call her expiry date. He took this strategy a step further when he began posting videos with models that were above the age of consent but looked underage, and also called himself a proud PDF file in these videos to stir up drama.
So this is something that he did normally. Okay.
Out here, I always think because my mom hates this joke.
What joke?
That I'm a pedo. She's like, you're funnier than a pedo joke. And I said,
true.
I said, there's some truth to all jokes, Mom.
Oh my god, this is not funny. Why is she laughing?
And while this type of content was disturbing and in bad taste, it wasn't technically legal since everyone involved was a consenting adult. And the only thing protecting Zerka from immense backlash was that all of this was a joke and that he wasn't actually a predator. But as it turned out, it wasn't all a joke. On June 8th, 2024, Zerka appeared on an IRL livestream in which he and another streamer would go to downtown to flirt with women and then bring them back to their house for content.
Yep, this is the stream that I was asking about.
However, the problem arose when they stumbled upon a group of possibly underage girls.
You too. Hey, my God.
Here, put your number here, because I'm a little lit.
What the Perfect.
The girls then started saying that they were 20, but didn't have any ID to prove their age.
Perfect. How old are you? Prove it.
You're 20?
Uh-oh, no ID though. Okay, I'll give your number, but
no ID is the best ID.
No ID is the best ID, says Heel Mike. Of course. Because why the hell not, right? Jesus fucking Christ.
I can't kiss until I see the ID. How old is this girl? Alright, just give me the ID before I look crazy. Let me see.
What makes you think I need to have an ID?
You don't have ID on you and you want to come over? Are you out of your mind?
And while at first it looked like Zerka didn't want to hang out with them if they were underage, he quickly changed his behavior and started flirting with one of them without confirming her age first.
Yo, Sagan, look at this.
It's guys. No, Sagan. Yo, Sagan, stop.
He even took them back to his home to continue.
Oh, she fixed my dick. This girl's kind of cute. No, she's not cute. She's my type. Everyone says I have bad taste, but yo, why don't I try to do like these small little tiny bones, little squeaky voice, little max fem.
This is when Josiah, who's another Kick streamer, brought up again that these girls might be
underage
since they never confirmed their IDs, leading to Zerka having a panic attack.
No, that was a fake panic attack. I guarantee you that was a fake panic attack.
Or should we get a quick ID check on both of them?
Oh, she flashed it on her phone.
I guarantee you that was a fake fucking panic attack.
Man, I don't want this joke. I'm not doing it.
I'm not even trolling. I asked, do you have your ID? She said, oh no, I don't. I said, when's your birthday? She said, 2005. I said,
hey,
well,
now.
She said, December 1st. Go ask her birthday later and see if it's the same birthday.
This is not, you're trolling me.
I'm not trolling you.
I'm going troll. Why would he troll about something like that? That's what I've never understood when Sneako or when Zerka was like, you're trolling. Why would he troll about something like that?
He then tries to justify his actions by making the argument that he's used to Canada, where the age of consent is 16.
No, because I'm used to Canada. In Canada, you can go to 17, 16. I've never done it, but you can do it.
However, to fully understand the next turn of events, we have to talk about Zerka's partner in crime during his stream, Heel Mike. Heel Mike first began streaming on Twitch back in 2015 and carved a niche for himself with his unfiltered personality, eventually building a Twitch following to over 7.4 million. However,
the fuck?
around 2022 to 2023, he transitioned over to Kick, likely due to the increased freedom he'd get on the new platform.
You mean likely to the fact that he could say basically whatever he wanted and do whatever he wanted because Twitch actually has terms of service.
During this time, he also began focusing more on IRL streaming and collaborating with other streamers. This is where we get to the June 8th stream alongside Zerka. And while Zerka's behavior during that stream was terrible, Heel Mike took things to the next level.
You shouldn't be with someone if you need to ID them. Yup. Facts. Facts. Spittle buggies.
For example, when the girls initially said that one of them was a minor, this was Heel Mike's response.
Perfect. How old are you? Prove it. You're 20? Uh-oh, no ID though. I'll give you a number, but no ID is the best ID.
And this openly pedophilic behavior continued throughout the stream, with him even acting like the stereotypical predator from a C-tier crime drama.
You're literally acting like that, like a freaking straight out of a Criminal Minds freaking.
Find us, Vitaly. You'll never find us.
Later in the stream, the girl that forgot her ID home magically had it on herself and showed it to the two streamers. However, this ID was clearly faked. And when the chat confronted him about the girls being possibly underage and having fake IDs, this was his response.
Good. Fake? These girls can both be 18. Guess what? Are they on my stream? I don't give a f. Fake ID? Good. Good. I didn't even know they made those. Who gives a f?
I didn't even know they made fake IDs. Ha 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 ha. You're such a full of shit. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You knew. Holy shit. Oh. Yeah. Yep, this is a rehashing of this, Jordan.
Losers. Yourself. You losers always complain. Why are there only PG streamers?
I gotta love how a not PG stream to Mike is soliciting a minor, so he
Right?
bans everyone in chat and tells Josiah to never come back.
I'm gonna have fun, so you can watch and clip it and cry, or you can enjoy yourself.
You can enjoy yourself while I flirt and have sex with underage children.
Wow, she's 16? Guess what? I'm 11, so shut the f up. She's 11.
Oh, yes.
So mods. Chop, chop.
After ending the stream, both Zerka and Heel Mike went into damage control mode. Zerka posted
Did
a
they?
video on Twitter titled "Never Trust a Woman," in which he talked to a friend of the possible underage girl and confirmed that she was indeed 18.
With Abby.
I'm Abby right here. We're just.
Your friend is not 17, right? She's above 18.
She's above 18. And I wouldn't bring her around my people. I wouldn't be friends with her. I wouldn't bring her around people that are underage if she was under 17.
Heel Mike also made a now deleted tweet blaming the girls for trying to set him up, somehow implying that he was the victim in the situation. However, it was too little too late.
Yeah, didn't he claim that they were like getting him drunk too? Like the teenagers were getting him drunk?
The fact of the matter was that the two streamers didn't care if the girls they were hooking up with were or not. And Heel Mike even doubled down and stated it didn't even matter. Mudahar from Some Ordinary Gamer also called them out on the contrived victim narrative.
And with the amount of people that are like these two basically trying to rewrite history by saying that they were set up or that these women are coming after them, absolute bullshit. These are two complete jackass idiots that decided to play way too close to the goddamn sun
and got burned.
Made complete fools of themselves and have basically gotten themselves involved in a situation that is very, very highly illegal. Now again, I'm not here to say that these girls were underage or not. Honestly, I think a law enforcement agency should check it. But to be fair with you, looking into this situation and the jokes that they've made, I'm not erring on giving these people any form of credibility or any form of leeway. These people are scum.
Ultimately, both Zerka and Heel Mike got banned from Kick, and according to Jake Lucky, this ban is completely irreversible.
They're freaking they got irreversibly banned off of Kick. That's insane.
Both met the same fate as the next streamer on our list, RiotLol. Unlike Zerka or Heel Mike, who migrated from Twitch and brought their audiences with them, RiotLol found his success directly from the new platform. Unfortunately, his quote-unquote content could only be described as extremely exploitative and predatory. He connects with girls on Omegle, talks with them a little, and tries to steer the conversation to where he can get them to expose themselves on stream. For those unaware, Omegle is a site where you can anonymously video chat with other people, and RiotLol uses this to find the next victim of his so-called content. Most of his streams follow a similar format. He connects with girls on Omegle, talks with them a little, and tries to steer the conversation to where he can get them to expose themselves on stream.
That's actually pretty gross. Wow. I can't even put words to how gross that is. You just talk to these chicks and get them to expose themselves on your show. Lovely.
This on its own is highly unethical, since many of his victims don't even know that they're being live streamed in front of hundreds of thousands of viewers. Even if some of them do agree to comply with RiotLol's request, they don't consent to being openly broadcasted on the internet.
No. Even
this degenerate behavior is nothing compared to the truly terrible things RiotLol has done in some of his streams. In February of 2020, a YouTuber by the name of Something About Chickens made an expose video on RiotLol titled "To Catch a Cake Predator." It contained in-depth evidence of Riot soliciting the same explicit responses from minors.
This is Riot LOL. Omar is his real name. He's a 20-year-old kick streamer, TikToker, Twitter/X user, whatever you want to call it. And here's him about to get a girl that's clearly, let's say,
you could
not
get in trouble just by watching their stream. Yep.
age to expose herself live on his stream.
And I didn't spend a single Oh my.
Oh my god, my just like, ow, what the hell?
Yo, like, I mean, like, why are they not more out is a real question. I mean, like, what time is it? You know, it's already demon hours. Kid. Wait, listen, how old are you? I'm 19.
Oh, I'm 16.
You said 18?
Yeah.
And it even gets worse.
You know, it's already demon hours. Kid. Wait, listen, how old are you? I'm 19.
Oh, I'm 16.
You said 18?
Listen to that. She very clearly said 16.
Not more out is a real question. I mean, like, what time is it? You know, it's already demon hours. Kid. Wait, listen, how old are you? I'm 19.
Oh, I'm 16.
You said 18?
Yeah.
And
like, that's crazy. You said 18? Yeah. Yeah, I totally did. I totally said I was 18 just now, even though I clearly said 16.
Even gets worse. On one instance, Riot even made suggestive remarks about a literal baby.
Those are not loyal. Don't ever cuff a girl, okay? Oh my, what's your name? Hey, listen, you're really pretty, but can I talk to the one in the middle? Yo, I'm kidding. Alright, that's insane.
Now, I had to blur out who Riot was actually talking about because it was a baby.
Ew, that's gross. That is fucking disgusting. What the fuck? A literal infant.
Behavior isn't just immoral, it's pretty much straight up evil. Fortunately, this Something About Chickens brought light to this issue. As one commenter under the video wrote, "I've never been so angry watching a video before. I have a younger sister, and the thought of someone like RiotLol taking advantage of her in front of hundreds of thousands of people makes my blood boil. You're a total hero for confronting those streamers like that. Thanks so much for doing that and for making this video in the first place." Something About Chickens' video also went viral, which led to Kick taking notice and finally banning RiotLol from the platform indefinitely. And while this ban is ultimately a good thing, it did bring Kick's content moderation policies into public scrutiny. I think the fact that they only banned Riot when this video got popular is a sign that Kick should absolutely be held accountable.
Kick has basically got no content moderation policy. Like, you can get away with literal crimes on Kick, and like, unless it gets viral and people go, "Hey Kick, what the fuck?" they won't do anything about it.
they're just as guilty as Riot for letting this happen. However, while Riot Law was openly acting out his sick fantasies with anonymous victims, the next streamer on our list was a lot more meticulous with his predatory behavior and managed to keep it hidden for years. Jakishi, or Demetrius Madsen, started his career as a small-time Minecraft streamer. However, his luck was about to change completely when, out of nowhere, Dream raided his stream in October of 2021.
Huh? Hello? What? There's no way. Wait, yo, what the what? Welcome everybody, what the? Hello and welcome to the stream everybody, what? I'm trying not to cry. Thank you guys so much, you love my nails, thank you. Thank you.
That's wholesome. That's very wholesome.
For all the gifteds, thank you for all the biddies, the follows. Dream, yeah.
For those who don't know, Dream was the most influential Minecraft streamer on the planet at the time, so a stream raid from him was the equivalent of finding a chest full of diamonds in the game. However, Dream was likely extremely impressed by Jakishi's content, since he invited him to join the Dream SMP Minecraft servers soon after the raid. This was like winning the lottery for Jakishi, as his follower count jumped to over 57,000 on Twitch and over 27,000 on TikTok. If this continued, Jakishi would have easily become one of the largest Minecraft streamers in the world. But before he could enjoy his newfound success, or grind for even more followers, everything went south overnight. Just 2 days after the Dream SMP announcement, a Twitter user by the name of Valxy posted a link to a twitlonger with the title, "My Experience with Jakishi/Demetrius." The twitlonger opened with her first explaining the reason why she finally decided to share her experience after Jakishi was recruited in the Dream SMP roster, stating that, "I never wanted to open up about this because at one point I was very close to this person, and to an extent I still have care for him. However, due to the recent event of him joining a considerably large content creator group and gaining exponentially more exposure, I feel like it's my responsibility to bring this to light in order to prevent this person from taking advantage of more young girls."
Oh fuck, I think now I'm starting to remember who this Jakishi guy is. I'm slowly starting to recall his name.
That being said, I'll just start from the beginning. She then went to explain how she was friends with Jakishi when she was just 13. However, as time went on, Demetrius' true colors began showing. Over time, the dynamic shifted from nothing more than platonic friends to him being sexual towards me. She also linked a large number of screenshots that showed Jakishi both asking for nudes and saying that he'll send his nudes to someone who was barely 15 at the time while he was close to 20. And if this wasn't disgusting enough, Jakishi sank to an even lower level of depravity by asking to meet her alone in a hotel room. If we would have met up that summer, I would have been 15 while he was 20, alone in a hotel with a man who said he would try to not make sexual advances on me.
That's just wrong.
I didn't just cut you off, did I?
No?
Okay, good.
Why? What's wrong?
Okay, you paused the video, right?
Yeah.
Hit play.
Okay.
You're still live, right?
It was enough to...
Says you're still live.
Yes, I'm still live.
Okay. Your room is safe.
What happened?
The breaker blew, which blew like everything.
Oh, is that why the air filter turned off?
Yeah. Must have been too much amps on it with the compressor going.
Okay.
Oh, that sucks balls. Okay, well, at least we know you're not affected. I just don't know if the internet reset. Doesn't look like it. I think all that stuff's... I've got the router on a different circuit, and the modem. The modem's got a UPS on it. The router's on a different circuit. But the problem is, I just discovered all the basement lighting, the hall lighting, and everything up in the living room on one fucking breaker, and the outside.
Lovely.
17 outlets on one breaker. Hello, overload. And it's a 15, not a 20, which is even worse.
No.
All I was doing was blowing down the van.
That's crazy.
Jakishi's streaming career completely, but as it turned out, this was only the tip of the iceberg when it came to Jakishi's predatory actions. Valxy ended her accusations by stating that she knew that she wasn't the only unfit girl being groomed by Jakishi, and this turned out to be 100% true when multiple victims...
I am the body of a god. The right kind of god.
Yeah.
The berserker god.
victims of Jikishi started to come forward with their own experiences. And over the next 24 hours, 18 more victims would come out, all of which had a similarly horrible experience with the Minecraft streamer. Dream had noticed the situation by this point as well, leading him to removing all ties with Jikishi and also confirming that the allegations were true. Removed Demetrius from the SMP for gross accusations that he also confirmed privately were accurate.
Oh, he actually confirmed it? He was like, yeah, it was totally me.
Even this wasn't the end of Jikishi's downfall, as over the coming days, a total of 41 people came out with their traumatizing experiences with him. However, before he could face any retribution for his actions, Jikishi realized that there was no way to salvage his situation, and decided to completely vanish from the internet. But at least he understood that what he did was unforgivable and disappeared on his own, unlike the last streamer on this list who only stopped his predatory antics when he was banned from Kick. Put simply, Citrus is a mini version of RiotLol who employs the same strategy to generate quote content. He goes on sites like Omegle, matches up with girls and tries to riz these girls, and pressures them into exposing themselves or doing something explicit on stream.
Hold on, shake it, shake it. Shake that shit. Shake that shit. Arch it, arch it. Arch that shit. Damn. Go back and forth.
What the fuck? This is weird. I don't understand this. This is weird.
And just like RiotLol, he shows zero regard for his victim's age.
With no covering, will I get W's instead of tomatoes? Yes or no? I like how you did your eyeliner.
Oh, thank you.
How old are you?
16.
Oh, me too. Where are you from?
In reality, he was close to 20 years old in this clip. The only reason he blatantly lied about his age was to make the girl feel more comfortable talking to him so he could later exploit her like all of his previous victims. And this isn't a one-off thing either. Fortunately, when Something About Chickens released the expose video on RiotLol, it brought attention to all of his copycats, including Citrus. This led him to finally being banned from Kick alongside RiotLol, and it's unlikely that he'll ever make a comeback.
God, what is it with Kick streamers, man? Why are they so degenerate? I just don't understand. Like, why they're so goddamn degenerate. Let's see. Let's pull up another video. Let's pull up a video. Let's find something else. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let's see if I can find a video about something funny.
Twitch now. Cabooses Live. New Marvel Rivals characters. Drops on. Twitch now. Addy Modes. Jordan Mahoney, The Blind World. Addy chat messaging. Chat.
Let's see. Oh, Fate did it something. Fight all thy enemies. I know who Fate is. 6 Erican permanently banned from Mortal Kombat 1. So do you guys remember the video I did on 6 Erican? 6 Erican was this guy who only streams on Twitch and TikTok. And he would fight people, would force people to give him subs for fights. He was like, you could only grab once per match. And he was like, and like half the character, like if you played him, he would ban any character that was your main automatically. Like half the roster, all this shit. Well, 10 days ago, or yeah, about 10, 12 days ago, he got permanently banned from Mortal Kombat. So we're gonna take a look, and I want to see what he did to get banned.
All right, permanently banned from Mortal Kombat 1. This is by Ice Cream. Says moments before Toxic Troll 6 Arakan finds he is permanently banned from MK1. You know what? You know how I know? Now let's gonna play the clip because I'm gonna share some insight into this.
7 seconds, you know what I'm saying?
There's the notification. There's the PlayStation notification.
Crazy Dad 4 says how much to play Tekken 8.
Ha! You got like...
Your account is currently banned from connecting to Mortal 1 servers?
Crazy Dad 4 says, bro, your internet is so slow, ha ha ha.
We all love you. We just hate you at the same time.
Fucking Harada, man. I fucking hate his guts, bro. I hate his fucking guts, man. Seriously. Bro, I'm gonna send something on Twitter. I'm gonna fucking tweet him something. I'm gonna tweet him something. I fucking hate his guts.
You play MK long.
Totally got banned. I wonder who reported him. I wonder who banned him.
It's got everything to do with Harada.
I think it has to do with Ninja Killer.
How you banned from MK? Who is you?
There's no reason. There's no reason. The amount of money I put into this,
There's
bro.
no reason. Oh, really? There's no reason that you were banned from Mortal Kombat. Okay.
I'm gonna...
He's gonna make another account.
You always lose anyway.
So now I don't know, I don't know if he's back online. I don't know if it's been appealed. There, at least so far, there doesn't seem to be a reason. I don't know. But if he is indeed banned from playing MK1 for being toxic, then why isn't Cupcake banned from playing Mortal Kombat 1?
Because Cupcake isn't like Six Erican is. Cupcake is completely different. Six Erican, like, literally goes after kids, goes after, like, all this shit. I don't have, nope. The amount of money I put into this is if that would protect you from bans. Yeah, I know, right? No, Jordan, I literally have zero money for my birthday, so I have no plan, no cake, no nothing. So, people, donate to the Streamlabs, like.
That literal walking clown stick had him abusing his fucking mother for 20 minutes straight on his YouTube channel. Right?
Was he abusing his mother? Was his mother playing the game? Was he abusing his mother via the Mortal Kombat servers? Because if he was, then I could see the devs banning him.
You get other guys in the NRS community that are highly toxic when they play online, and yet they don't get banned. You want to know why? Because they're the approved group.
No, okay, Fate, you're an idiot. This is so Fight All Thy Enemies is a guy who, like, I swear to God, he has a love-hate relationship with Mortal Kombat. Because he hates the pro players. He hates, like, the pro scene altogether. And he thinks that NetherRealm does things for the pro players instead of for the casual players when it's completely the other way around.
Allbrand talks about putting people on the list because we're toxic about a video game because we want the video game to be better, and yet these are the same people like Toxic and 16-bit back in the day, Allbrand and 16-bit back in the day, that got banned from tournaments or have been banned from commentating because they've lied about shit, or guys like Cupcake who are highly toxic all the time, you know, oh, but it's just an act. But it's not an act though, isn't it? We know it's not an act, right?
Right, but are they utilizing the servers to be toxic? Like Six Erican is?
Because if it was an act, you don't delete the content otherwise, right? And you know the scum that defend all of that sort of stuff to protect their own toxic players, right? Now, I always believed that this guy was playing a character.
Oh,
right?
You did.
He literally says to people, "Oh, you can't use that character," and people do it, right? Or he'll.
You actually think that this is an act, dude? Holy shit, Fate.
Literally says to people,
You're an
"Oh, you
idiot.
can't use that character," and people do it, right? Or he'll just block people. Like, this is part of the setup. This is part of the troll. It
It's
annoys
not a
the shit out
troll.
of people when you start shutting them down and taking away power from them. And he was very successful at doing it. Now, I don't want to hear comments about, "Oh, he's some diddler," or anything like that, because Sloppy Seconds, from memory, hosted this guy a couple of times on live streams to fight other people. Yet I'm the bad guy. I'm the white supreme pizza. Yet he's willing to host apparently a guy that's going to do stuff with children on his stream a couple of times.
Yeah, he did. He did. Like, what do you mean a couple? What are you talking about? You don't even know, and you're addressing it? He absolutely did.
Fuck off. I don't want to hear shit like that, because that's a double standard. Which means that there's two things going on
Oh,
here. Either
Muffin.
this entire thing is a setup and they're all in on it. Because back in the day, certain people in the community used to set up essentially what was like wrestling matches, right? You figure out who's going to win, what you're going to do back and forth, but behind the scenes, everything's all cool and gravy. You're putting on a show for everyone, right?
Yeah, that is different from what this is. That's what Sikander does. Right? Sikander is that type of guy. Sikander 551 out of Europe. He's that type of dude. I am blind, yes. I am blind. Welcome to the stream. Oops.
This is what some of the guys did back in the day, in the PS3 360 era, right? And it was just for laughs. Now that could be that. Or it's because he decided to just troll them successfully.
Nobody believes that it's a troll.
But because he wasn't the approved group member, then they got rid of him.
Here we go.
Like they tried to get rid of me.
They tried to get rid of you. Oh, Fate. Oh, Fate, please. Oh, Fate, please. No wonder Foxy Grandpa calls you out so much.
Ice Cream says, easing the pain. Sean Wade says he seemed to always pop up on my TikTok and always talk bad to the players and was bitter when he lost. Yeah, but it's not as bad as Cupcake telling people to literally die, kill themselves and their entire family.
He would say that too, dude. He has said that. He has told people to kill themselves. He has told people to kill their families. He has told people that they shouldn't exist. He's made fun of kids and shit like that.
How very wonderfully and peaceful, if you will, of these people. I don't want to hear shit about defending that little cupcake, right? In the wake of this. Because I don't remember Six Arrogant saying anything like that. But this is what
Can
the
I
NRS
read the
community
chat?
are
Yes,
like.
I can.
They need to have villains because
I have
they
my
can't
phone
make
here
content
with YouTube
themselves.
chat
They
up.
can't think for themselves, right? They are a cult hive mind group. That when you don't follow their line of thinking, like I've talked about this before, there's some dude who literally has the biggest heart on for me. What's his name? Numero something? Some fucking weirdo, right? Who literally said, if all you had to do, Fate, was just get on stream and play the game with people and let them teach you and toe the line, and then you would have been accepted.
Yep.
Why would I want to be accepted by a bunch of weirdo leftist communist fucktards?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Weirdo leftist communist fucktards. Why? Because Sonic Fox plays Mortal Kombat? Oh boy. Oh boy. I can see where you lie on the political spectrum.
who want to cancel people constantly because they talk bad about a video game.
No, you don't
Still
talk bad about a video game, dude. You act like there's this weird cabal against you. And it's very weird. And it's like, nobody gives a fuck about you, Fate.
Motherfuckers. Sly Screen says, to me, he was putting on a character this type of personality brings in the views, and yet we have Cupcake who has not been banned. That's how I know it's bullshit. Right? Why was Arata brought into this? He has a beef.
Oh, the Muslim Lantern trained Sneako on debating morality? Oh, well, did a horrible job. Because Sneako is a terrible debater.
Beef with him. Bro thinks Arata made MK1 Tekken ban coming soon. No, I think it's all whatever. Now we got 6 Arakan over here. Right. So we're gonna check his account. Right. Let's see. This was 6 Arakan says, boy won't ever run his mouth again. Ninja Killer say something, dog. Right. Oh, they would have reported him.
Oh, they totally reported him, and they should have. They should have reported him. Why the fuck would they not have reported him? Ninja Killer, I guarantee you Ninja Killer reported him. Fuck you, Fate. You're just a whiny little bitch. Fuck you. I'll be impressed. Well, I'm not impressed with Sneako's performance, so either he's a very bad teacher or Sneako's a very bad student. Let's see here. I'm gonna quickly do a bathroom break and put on some more music, and then we'll find another video to do. And while we're doing that, Adbot activated. Alright, let me replay this and go to the bathroom. I shall be right back. And share the stream and click that link in the description. Have a wonderful 5 minutes. Alright, we're back. We are back. I'm trying to figure out what the hell to watch now, because that debate got pulled down. Oh. Let's see. Let's see. Let's go see what's on my recommended page. There, let's see. Oh, Joe Biden. The final days of Joe Biden's re-election campaign. Let's watch that. Let's watch that. That's from Don't Walk Run. And that's there we go. All right, let's take a look.
Sorry, I don't
Shut
understand.
up.
This is Joe Biden, the resident of the United States. On Sunday, July 21st, 2024, after more than 3 weeks of speculation and pressure by just about everyone in the political sphere, Joe Biden posted this letter on social media announcing that he was dropping out of the 2024 race.
And isn't it a little bit late for him to be doing that? Like, I'm just asking, because I'm just saying, like the election is in November.
Then, 3 days later, Biden addressed the nation about his decision.
You know, in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition.
In other words, he was forced out. But
he was
how did
forced
we get here?
out.
Well, let's go back into history a little bit and do a post-mortem on the re-election campaign of Joe Biden.
Oh boy!
Democrats and Biden's DOJ have done everything to hurt Donald Trump in the polls, including trying to remove him from primary ballots and bogging him down with nonsense legal cases.
Like fraud, and getting the state of Colorado to try to get him off the ballot. And there was another state too.
But none of it worked. In fact, it only made Trump stronger. Womp womp. So the Biden campaign was desperate. And on May 15th, Joe Biden's social...
No American voted for Kamala, but they forced her on us. Yeah, I know, right? And it's gonna be really interesting to see the debates between Kamala and Trump, because Trump's just gonna own her.
Social media accounts posted a heavily edited video where Biden agreed to debate Trump. And it would turn out to be the most consequential decision of Joe Biden's re-election bid.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice.
Oh my god, the dirty, hairy shit.
It's arguable that Joe Biden even participated in the first one.
We created 15,000 new jobs, over billions of dollars in private investment to $15 for...
It's very late. It's been just decided Kamala is his replacement. Nobody gets to decide who the Democrat nominee is. It's just appointed. Yay, democracy. Right? Like, it just sounds really bad.
For a insulin shot as opposed to $400. No senior has to pay more than $200 for any drug, all the drugs they can include beginning next year.
What?
For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America. And what's happening? If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers.
Oh my god, I don't even think that there's 1,000 billionaires in America. But okay, go ahead.
$500 million, billion dollars, I should say, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
If we finally beat Medicare. What the fuck was he Does anybody know what he was trying to say in that sentence? Cuz none of that made any sense.
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
It took just 10 minutes for Joe Biden to effectively end his re-election chances. Yep. But he wasn't finished.
What I've done since I've changed the law, what's happened? I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. It's better than when he.
That's right. There are 40% of people coming across the border. There are 40% less people coming across the border legally. Yes, you are correct. Now they're all just flooding across illegally.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol.
Biden doesn't even know what he wanted to say.
President Trump?
I think
I
you're
really
right.
don't know what he said at the end of this.
Nobody knows.
The total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
And that was it. It was the beginning of the end.
That's true. And Trump didn't even have to yell. He was just like, I don't even know what he said. I don't think he knows what he said.
50 million people watched the debate live, and no amount of spin or gaslighting could convince voters that Biden's performance was anything but an unmitigated disaster. So pundits were forced to tell the truth.
That was painful. I love Joe Biden. I work for Joe Biden. He didn't do well at all.
And they sound like literally pained to say that. They sound in so much discomfort to just say that he didn't do well.
He did not do well at all.
Right now, as we speak, there is a deep, a wide, and a very aggressive panic in the Democratic Party.
You
There's
think?
been some real damage done that cannot be undone.
It was a really disappointing debate performance from Joe Biden. I don't think there's any other way to slice it. His biggest issue that he had to prove to the American people was that he had the energy, he had the stamina.
I bet you if America stopped giving foreign aid to countries who hate us, we could afford, fixed lodging and schooling and, get the homeless people and drug addicts off the drugs. Yep.
And he didn't
Same
do that.
with Canada.
But he had a test to meet tonight to restore confidence of the country and of the base, and he failed to do that.
The following morning, the entire New York Times stable of contributing opinion writers called for Biden to leave the race. And by that evening, so did the New York Times editorial board, claiming, to serve his country, President Biden should leave the race. But Joe Biden, who has wanted to be president since the 1970s, vowed that he wasn't going anywhere.
I'm here in North Carolina for one reason. Because I intend to win this state in November.
You're not winning shit. You're not winning shit, sir.
I think we are. I give you my word as a Biden, I would not be running again if I didn't believe with all my heart and soul.
I give you my word as a Biden. Your word as a Biden means shit, dude.
This job.
As it turns out, though, Joe Biden was the only one convinced of that, because as indicated by the very first poll conducted after the debate, the American public wasn't buying it.
Our polling unit asked voters how they view the candidates now, including their cognitive health. The results are not encouraging for the president. The number of voters who say President Biden has the cognitive ability to serve has dropped from 35% earlier this month to 27% after the debate.
And 35% in, that's not very high anyway. Right? That is a very low number. And for it to drop even lower is scary.
That's the lowest number since CBS began asking voters that question last September. Nearly 3/4 of all registered voters now say he shouldn't be running, and nearly half of Democrats say he shouldn't remain the nominee.
But Joe Biden wasn't budging. His strategy was to try and convince voters that the debate performance was an outlier because he was working too hard or something. During a private campaign event, Biden told donors, "I didn't have my best night, but the fact is that, I wasn't very smart. I decided to travel around the world a couple times, going to I don't know how many time zones. For real, I think it was 15 time zones in a couple of weeks before the debate. And I didn't listen to my staff and came back and nearly fell asleep on stage."
Oh, shit. I love how he reads that quote verbatim and even puts in like a little old man voice and laugh. I love it.
And during a meeting with Democrat governors, Governor Josh Green of Hawaii, a physician, asked Mr. Biden questions about the status of his health. Mr. Biden replied that his health was fine. "It's just my brain."
And my health is fine, it's just my brain. Holy god damn, my dude. I think that means you're not healthy. I'm pretty sure that means you're not a healthy person.
Health was fine. It's just my brain. So Biden's team thought that the damage done from his debate performance was reversible. But unfortunately, that would require cooperation from Joe Biden not to screw it up.
Now, you probably heard we had a little debate last week. Can't say it was my best performance. We love it, Joe. But ever since then, there's been a lot of speculation. What's Joe going to do? Is he going to stay in the race? Is he going to drop out? What's he going to do? Well, here's my answer. I am running and going to win again. I'll beat Donald Trump. I will beat him again in 2020.
I will beat him again in 2020. He can't even say it's 2024. He still thinks it's 2020.
Well, so much for moving forward. In fact, with every subsequent Biden appearance in media
I'm totally healthy. You can ignore the brain damage. Yeah, exactly.
Joe Biden made it clear that his standing with the Democrat Party and the American voter was irretrievable.
Let's start with the debate. You and your team have said you had a bad night. But did you ever watch the debate afterwards?
I don't know.
I don't think I did, no.
I don't think I did, no.
Biden isn't sure if he watched his own debate. Sharp as a tack, guys. But the revealing part of the interview was when Biden was asked, what happens if he lost in November?
And if you stay in and Trump is elected and everything you're warning about comes to pass, how will you feel in January?
I feel as long as I gave it my all and I did the goodest job as I know I can do.
As long as I gave it my all. What does that mean, Joe?
That's what this is about.
The goodest job, guys.
I feel as long as I gave it my all and I did the goodest job as I know I can do. That's what this is about.
The goodest
job, guys.
Wow.
Now, that was a tough interview for sure, but Joe Biden couldn't even handle interviews that were 100% scripted by Biden's campaign.
By the way, I'm proud to be, as I said, the first vice president, first black woman, served with a black president.
Racial and gender identity is fluid. Joe Biden is now a black woman.
How can you assure the American people that you won't have another night like the one you did in Atlanta?
Look at my career. I've not had many of those nights.
Look at my career. I have not had many of those nights. Bitch, you shouldn't even have one. If you have one of those nights, that's a bad thing. I need to take this hair elastic down. But if you have one of those nights, that's not a good thing, my friend. Especially if you're the president.
It was a terrible night, and I really regret it happened.
But the fact of the matter is, how can you assure you're going to be on faith that can intervene on your way to go to, work tomorrow?
He gave his word as a Biden. It was a lie. So he kept his word as a Biden and lied. Good job. That's a good one. I like that.
The idea is I'm too old.
Fact of the matter is, how can you assure you're going to be out on your way to go, work tomorrow? Age wasn't, the idea that I'm too old. Keep in mind, that soundbite is supposed to be reassuring to those Democratic supporters who have gone wobbly.
Oh man, when you lose Jake Tapper. Even Morning Joe's Mika Brzezinski got in on the action.
Okay, so you have repeatedly said that all of these people and entities are wrong. And let me go through them. The New York Times editorial board, The Economist, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the Boston Globe, Jerry Nadler, Seth Moulton. Let me go to Julian Castro, Tim Ryan, David Axelrod.
Jesus Christ! Literally everybody is like, nope, you're done, Joe.
David Remnick, Richard Haas. Yeah, I know which one you're responding to there. Zeke Emanuel, but they're saying that you should step aside. So what is your plan of attack moving forward? These are pretty big names.
To go out and keep doing their big names, but I don't care what those big names think. I'm getting so frustrated by the elites. Now, I'm not talking about you guys, but about the elites in the party.
The elites in the party. Bitch, you are one of them.
They know so much more.
And one of those Democrat elites is actor-director George Clooney, who wrote an op-ed in the New York Times titled, "I love Joe Biden, but we need a new nominee." Now, you might be thinking, who cares what this actor has to say about politics? Well, you might not know this, but Nipple Batman is one of the most important Democrat Hollywood fundraisers. This includes the infamous LA event, where Biden froze up in front of the audience, and Barack Obama had to grab Biden's arm and lead him off the stage like a toddler.
Wait, Biden did what?
This includes the infamous LA event, where Biden froze up in front of the audience.
He threw up in front of the audience?
And Barack Obama had to grab Biden's arm and lead him off the stage like a toddler.
Wait, really? That actually, he threw up in front of the audience and wow.
In the last 4 years, he's won many of the battles he's faced. But the one battle he cannot win is the fight against time. None of us can. It's devastating to say it, but the Joe Biden I was with 3 weeks ago at the fundraiser was not the Joe Big Effin' Deal Biden of 2010.
No. And even that Joe Biden was, as Robin Williams called him, Ramblin' Joe Biden. So he froze up. Froze, not throws. Okay. Got it.
He wasn't even the Joe Biden of 2020. He was the same man we all witnessed at the debate.
Oof.
Wow, thanks for letting us know.
Ouch, George.
Weeks after the fact. As Democrats, we collectively hold our breath or turn down the volume whenever we see the president, whom we respect, walk off Air Force One or walk back to a mic to answer an unscripted question.
Oh no. Oh no. For George Clooney to be saying this, that is very devastating. Oh my god. That is incredibly devastating.
This single sentence from George Clooney's op-ed vindicates everyone, including myself, who pointed out Biden's bloopers and blunders over the last several years.
Yeah.
Democrats saw what we saw, but instead of acknowledging the truth, they continued their gaslighting.
They also, it's gaslighting of everybody else, but it's also abuse of Joe Biden.
Shut up, you ageist. It's a cheap fake. He's sharper than ever. So, you think George Clooney's gonna give back a single penny of that $30 million that was raised at the Hollywood fundraiser?
Fuck no.
Sorry, Democrats. No refunds. Next, Biden hosted the 33rd NATO summit in Washington, D.C. And just like every single event that involves Joe Biden, it would be overshadowed by a Biden blooper.
Of course.
But this one would be extra special.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
No way!
Of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! He literally just called Zelensky President Putin. Holy shit!
President Putin. We're going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway.
Oh, good. He corrected himself. He's totally fine.
Wow. I don't want to hear shit from Americans. Like, I know Trudeau is a piece of garbage, but Jesus Christ, I don't want to hear anything anymore. He said that after calling Trump his vice president multiple times. Whew! Yep, Zelensky deserves money now because reasons.
Nothing to see here. Then, just a few hours later, Biden participated in what the White House kept referring to as Joe Biden's big boy press conference. I'm not kidding.
Wait, Joe Biden's big boy press conference? They actually called it that? Oh my lord, this is fucking elder abuse.
And so our military is working. I'm following the advice of my commander-in-chief, the chief of staff of the military, as well as the Secretary of Defense and our intelligence people.
Please note that Biden doesn't have a commander-in-chief because he is the commander-in-chief. Also, there's no chief of staff of the military.
And I think you'll see that some of our European friends are going to be curtailing their investment in Russia. In China, as long as China continues to have this indirect help to Russia.
Do you even know what you're saying, Joe? Are you like somebody go smack Joe on the side of his head? I think he's lagging.
In terms of being able to help their economy as well as help them in as a consequence of that their ability to fight in Ukraine.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Is Putin ready to talk? I'm not ready to talk to Putin unless Putin's ready to change his behavior.
Moments.
I'm not ready to talk to Putin unless Putin's ready to change his behavior. What, is Putin a toddler now?
I'm prepared to talk to any leader who wants to talk, including if Putin called me and wanted to talk.
But I thought you just said, I'm not talking to Putin until he changes his behavior.
Biden's not ready to talk to Putin, but he's prepared to talk to Putin. Classic Joe Biden.
I love my staff, but they add things all the time. At the very end, I'm catching hell from my wife for that. Anyway.
Aw, poor big boy Joe Biden is complaining he has to work. Give me a break.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, Joe Biden can't even finish a thought.
No.
Look, folks, this is well, anyway.
Anyway.
It wasn't about just, anyway, read what his objective is. And anyway, but then again, they're better than a lot of other people here too. But anyway.
What the fuck is, there was like 5 thoughts there and none of them got finished. What the hell?
You know, Biden's not prepared to sit with us unscripted. Biden's not prepared to, you know, anyway. From Wisconsin to North Carolina to, anyway. I'm going to be going down to the Johnson Library anyway.
What the fuck?
Anyway.
If he says anyway one more time, I think I might fucking lose my shit.
Anyway, the highlight of the big boy presser was when Joe Biden was asked about Kamala Harris and if she had the ability to beat Donald Trump in a general election.
That's a negative.
What concerns do you have about Vice President Harris's ability to beat Donald Trump if she were at the top of the ticket?
Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president.
Well done, Joe! Well done! Good job! Good job!
So let's start there.
Now, let's watch that again, but focus on members of Biden's cabinet.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president.
That was a compilation of him saying anyway, but that was all in one conference. Drink whenever you hear anyway. I'd love to! You would die from water poisoning or alcohol poisoning, yeah.
Qualified to be president. So let's start there. Number one, the fact is that the consideration.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan looked like he was about to cry. God, you'll love to see it.
Respectfully, earlier you misspoke in your opening answer. You referred to Vice President Harris as Vice President Trump. Right now, Donald Trump is using that to mock your age and your memory. How do you combat that criticism from tonight?
Listen to him.
This concludes tonight's press conference. Thank you, everybody.
Listen to him? Listen to him? Really? You want people to listen to him? Okay.
So the Democrats were in crisis mode, and despite the myriad of calls for Joe Biden to drop out of the race, Delaware Grandpa Defiant wasn't going anywhere.
Folks, you probably noticed there's been a lot of speculation lately. What's Joe Biden going to do? Is he going to stay in the race? Is he going to drop out? Here's my answer. I am running, and we're going to win. I'm not going to change that.
And the fact is, Biden didn't need to drop out of the race. He had earned enough delegates in the Democrat presidential primaries to secure the nomination, which is why Democrats were panicking. A panic that was further exacerbated every time Joe Biden would open his mouth. Axios reported on a tense Zoom call on July 13th between Joe Biden and a group of center-left House Democrats.
Listen to him. Yeah, he said that. I can't believe... Listen to Trump. Okay, cool. We don't need you around anymore. Get out.
That was a complete disaster. We saw the same Joe Biden from the debate, said one House Democrat on the call. It was awful, said another lawmaker. He had no answer to questions about his electability. He seemed oblivious to the polling that shows him losing swing states. He didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to reassure anyone. He took no responsibility, another lawmaker said. Puck News later provided more detail. One participant said, the call was even worse than the debate.
Oh,
he was rambling. He'd start an answer, then lose his train of thought, then would say whatever. He really couldn't complete an answer. I lost a ton of respect for him.
That's not
then
good.
There was the moment when Representative Jason Crow, a former Army Ranger who was awarded the Bronze Star, asked Biden about the importance of national security to voters. Here's how Puck reported Biden's response. First of all, I think you're dead wrong on national security, the president says, the emotion at times garbling his words. You saw what happened recently in terms of the meeting we had with NATO. I put NATO together. Name me a foreign leader who thinks I'm not the most effective leader in the world on foreign policy.
I put NATO together? Really? Single-handedly, Joe put NATO together. Okay, cool. Carry on.
Tell me. Tell me who the hell that is. Tell me who put NATO back together. Tell me who enlarged NATO. Tell me who did the Pacific Basin. Tell me who did something that you've never done with your Bronze Star like my son.
Wow. Whoo boy. Oh boy. Joe Biden is getting a little bit angry.
What the f*** is that even supposed to mean? Jason Crow received his Bronze Star with a V device for combat valor. Beau Biden got his Bronze Star because his daddy was Vice President Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Then Biden turned absolutely delusional, saying, things are in chaos, and I'm bringing some order to it. And again, find me a world leader who's an ally of ours who doesn't think that I'm the most respected person ever. It's not breaking through, Mr. President, to our voters. You ought to talk about it, Biden shot back, listing his accomplishments yet again. On national security, no one has been a better president than I've been. Name me one. Name me one. So I don't want to hear that crap. So,
whoo boy. That was a call to the Democrat, to the... This is crazy. When you challenge a dementia patient, they get angry. Yeah, this is what that's looking like. That is really looking like a dementia reaction. Hello, JM. Welcome to the stream.
So, as per usual, Joe Biden wasn't taking responsibility for anything. Instead, he started blaming Democrats for not talking about his accomplishments. What were they supposed to talk about? Record high inflation? Record high mortgage rates? Record high illegal border crossings? So it should be noted that the Zoom call ended roughly 1 hour before the attempt on Donald Trump's life in Butler, Pennsylvania. And yet all of this near tragedy may have been great news for Biden himself, politically speaking. Going into the weekend, all the talk in Washington had been about how the 81-year-old president simply had to step aside for the sake of the republic. One congressman said, had the assassination attempt not occurred an hour later, I imagine 50 people on that Zoom were ready to come out publicly against him. And obviously the attempt on Trump's life was the story, which
that's crazy.
Reprieve to Biden's election hopes. But it wouldn't last long because Biden is a barely functioning human. Here's Biden addressing the NAACP.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Oh, this is gonna be good. Let's see.
I think.
Race riots in Springfield, Illinois in 1908. The NAACP was formed. That's what started it. Look, folks, the idea that corporate-owned housing is able to raise your rent $300-400 a month or something, under what I'm about to announce, they can't raise it more than $55.
That's it. That's it. I'm gonna make it so they can't raise their rent more than $55 with that really long weird leg pause.
Now, while the NAACP is always going to vote blue no matter who, Joe Biden has been hemorrhaging support from black voters in general.
Oh yeah.
So in an attempt to re-energize his campaign with said demographic, Biden agreed to be interviewed by BET.
Oh boy.
i.e. Black Entertainment Television.
It's all about treating people with dignity. And it's about making sure that, look, I mean, for example, look at the heat I'm getting because I named the Secretary of Defense a black man.
And it appears that Joe Biden forgot Secretary Lloyd Austin's name.
I named the Secretary of Defense a black man.
Oh my God, he did. He just blanked on the guy's name. He did. He totally did. Also, Biden always had an anger problem. He would insult people or create lies about himself, like his multiple degrees and graduating at the top of his class.
And it appears that Joe Biden forgot Secretary Lloyd Austin's name, calling him
the Black Man.
Everything's fine, guys. Nothing to see here.
I would ordinarily be going through black neighborhoods on the foot, working through the neighborhoods. I have a tradition. I close every campaign, no matter what campaign, going into the projects and going down the east side.
Your cup of coffee is already expensive. Here's why it's about to get even pricier, says Apple News. Why are we going to war with Colombia? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, well, how you know? Well, we can't do that now. Not because of black.
I'm good. I'm just finishing up Don't Walk Runs video, and I'm gonna end.
I just tossed a bunch of hot dogs I just tossed all 10 hot dogs on the grill.
Ooh, goody, goody, goody.
Really, because it's too dangerous for me to be out walking on a company.
So Joe Biden,
wow,
on Black
way to victimize black people,
said he can't go to the east side of Wilmington, Delaware, because it's too dangerous. Joe Biden doesn't seem to have those same safety concerns in a white neighborhood, though.
No.
Trump, on the other hand, has no problem making appearances in Harlem or holding a rally in the Bronx. But, Biden doesn't need to go to black neighborhoods anymore. Blacks are ultimately preordained to vote for him.
Oh, of course, because if you don't vote for Joe Biden, you ain't black.
Come on, man.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Oh.
So on July 17th, Joe Biden was scheduled to appear at the Unidos US annual conference. But Biden had to cancel, and President and CEO Janet Murguía broke the bad news to the audience.
Oh.
Regrettably, I was just on the phone with President Biden, and he shared his deep disappointment at not being able to join us this afternoon. He just tested positive for COVID. He said to tell my folks that we're not going to get rid of him that quickly.
And that announcement, along with video of Joe Biden walking up the children's steps of Air Force One looking like absolute crap, felt like the breaking point.
He went up oh wow. He had to go up the kids' stairs of Air Force One. That's sad.
And what jumped out at me, and I'm sure to others as well, I didn't see him wearing a mask as he was with those other people on the tarmac there. What does that say to you?
Well, I think anyone who has active COVID now should wear a mask.
I know it's a pain in the neck, but it's a patriotic responsibility. It's a patriotic responsibility.
So
because that's him with a mask on.
Sunday, July 21st, 5 senators and over 30 House members were publicly calling for Joe Biden to leave the race. It was even being reported by CNN that former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, privately told Joe Biden that if he didn't drop out of the race, he was going to lose in November.
That's rough when Pelosi is even like, you're done, dude. Trump's gonna kick your ass.
And destroy Democrats' chances of winning back the House. And Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer had visited Biden at his beach house in Rehoboth and bluntly told him he was going to lose. In less than 3.5 weeks, the political fallout from Biden's dismal debate performance was too overwhelming. So on National Ice Cream Day, I swear that's real, Joe Biden...
I'm sorry if that came through. I'm about to kill them.
What happened?
Dad, I'm hungry.
Oh, that happens to me all the time when I'm cooking dinner. I'm hungry. I know, I'm cooking dinner. Oh, yeah.
No, he didn't do that. He was like, oh, I'm hungry.
Announced that he was dropping out of the race. In his letter, which Joe Biden allegedly wrote, "It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president. And while it has always been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term.
I can't do this for another 4 years.
The Democrats staged a coup against a sitting president and were successful in removing him from his own ticket. But
that's insane!
You know, it's the Republicans that are a threat to democracy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's totally the Republicans, dude. They're evil and they hate democracy.
The president believes that it's best for the country that he not be in the Oval Office for another 4 years. How can you assure the American people that he's up to be in the office for the next 6 months?
He wants to finish the job that he started and delivering more historic results for the American people. And
what historic results has he delivered so far, other than historically bad ones?
He didn't step down from campaigning or from running because he didn't believe he can serve in a second term. That is not why.
That is exactly why.
He's capable of serving another 4 years, but he just doesn't believe that he can win another 4 years?
I will let the president speak for himself.
Can you talk a bit more about how he's feeling after making such an extraordinary decision, like you said, making it quickly?
Yeah.
Did he feel bullied to leave the race?
I'm going to let the president speak for himself.
But spoiler alert, Biden didn't answer those questions.
So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. But there's also a time and a place for new voices.
Oh, he sounds so beaten down. Oh my Lord.
Fresh voices. Yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now.
But just 1 week prior, Biden claimed that he couldn't pass it to someone else.
And look, when I originally ran, you may remember it, I said I was going to be a transitional candidate. And I thought that I'd be able to move from this to pass it on to someone else. But I didn't anticipate things getting so divided.
But that's Joe Biden's fault. He ran on the promise to unite America.
Yep.
Instead, he routinely called half the electorate violent MAGA extremists who want to destroy democracy. In fact, it was a central theme of his dropout speech.
I revere this office, but I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. But in the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think it's more important than any title. We have to decide, do we still believe in honesty?
Decide that we still believe in honesty. And I love the tone of his voice, the earnestness.
Decency, respect, freedom, justice, and democracy. And those of us who cherish that cause, cherish it so much, a cause of American democracy itself, must unite to protect it. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy, because this is critical to our democracy. The worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War.
Oh, wow. Trump is the worst attack on your democracy since the Civil War, eh? That is a crazy statement.
Let's act together. Preserve our democracy.
So Biden isn't going to run because he has to save democracy. Yet less than 3 weeks prior, Joe Biden sent this letter to congressional Democrats. We had a Democratic nomination process, and the voters have spoken clearly and decisively. I received over 14 million votes, 87% of the votes, cast across the entire nominating process. I have nearly 3,000 delegates, making me the presumptive nominee of our party by a wide margin. I feel a deep obligation to the faith and trust the voters of the Democratic Party have placed in me to run this year. It was their decision to make, not the press, not the pundits, not the big donors, not any selected group of individuals, no matter how well-intentioned.
Yeah.
The voters, and the voters
should have
alone,
picked.
decide the nominee of the Democratic Party.
It should not
So
be
how can we stand
as
for
fucking
democracy?
as demented as Joe Biden is. He still won the votes. He should be running against Trump.
In our nation if we ignore it in our own party. I cannot do that. I will not do that. So weeks prior, Biden made the case that 14 million Democrats voted for Joe Biden in the presidential primary. But now he's endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris, and enough delegates have agreed to change their vote from Biden to Harris.
That's insane.
Now, as a reminder, not a single primary voter cast their ballot for Kamala Harris to be the presidential nominee. But don't worry, America. According to experts, that means American democracy is working.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Anyway,
oh,
that's
that
it for
fucking
now.
laugh.
Please follow me on X at Don't Walk Run. And while you're at it, please subscribe to the channel. As always, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time. If there is a next time.
That evil laugh. Holy shit. I can't believe that. Like, what? Like, the fact that he, in a month, went from, fuck you, I'm not leaving, to, fine, I'm stepping aside and Harris can take over. Like, that's just crazy to me. Oh my god. Ugh. Alright, guys. I am going to end this stream and go have dinner with my family. But I will be back on Twitch later tonight with the Mortal Kombat 1 King of the Hill. So please be sure to come and follow the Twitch channel and take a look at that. And I will see you guys then. So thank you for